Hi there, my name is FixFox, and welcome back to Heroes of Might and Magic 2. This is the F Heroes edition, and today we're going to dive right in to an extra large map. A map that I have not had any experience with, but looks like it's going to be very, very interesting. This is going to be basically a free-for-all, me versus the world, me versus 6 other enemies. Zens, happy to have you here. Math Obsessed in the chat, hello everybody, nice to have you all here. My plan for today is to play Dominion. We've done a couple of smaller maps, we've done a couple of these more engaging thematic story type playthroughs recently, and it'll be very, very nice to do something that's more of a strategic, down to the wire, down to earth type of playthrough. That's what I've been hankering for anyway. So with that being said, Dominion is here. Hey all, hey Rise to Ruin, very nice to have you. Wow, all 3 of you, you guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys. We have Dominion here, 6-player map, extra large. This does come from the price of loyalty, and this is a total deathmatch. The map difficulty is denoted as being normal, and the scenario description reads as such. The king is dead. His kingdom has been shattered, and 6 leaders seek to seize power for themselves. Pretty interesting. We do have the choice. We could play as knights, sorceresses, necromancers, warlocks, wizards, or barbarians. I'm going to tell you right now, folks, I haven't had a good knight game in a long time. And I'm going through still all of the different factions. I'll show you guys at some point here all of the work I've been doing. It's literally thousands and thousands of words worth of analysis and just looking into each faction's strengths and weaknesses. And the more that I was talking to myself and kind of writing the script out about the Knight faction, the more I realized that I don't give Knights nearly as much credit as they deserve. Do they have the weakest 6th tier unit? Absolutely. Do they have pretty much 0 special abilities on all of their units? Absolutely. And yet, do they have some strengths and weaknesses? Absolutely. What is required for the Knight faction to succeed is that they become the ultimate opportunists and take whatever is on the adventure map and use that to their advantage. And so hopefully this is going to be a nice playthrough where we get the opportunity to let the Knights really shine. That's my goal, that's my plan, and we're just gonna see how it goes. It's decent. I haven't had a game I could stay awake all the way through for a long, long time, knight or not. I see what you did there. That's a wonderful play on words, knight or not. We're gonna keep this on a possible difficulty. We are gonna play as the Knights, and folks, let's dive right in. The day you have feared has finally arrived. The king, who you have faithfully served, has died, leaving no heir to his throne. As his captain, you feel that this job should now be yours, but several factions even now are preparing for conquest. You are at the center of the trade routes, having the sea to the south and a great forest to the north. Go now, Commander, and claim what is rightfully yours. By the way, Steeson, good job in the Kelvin Open. It was really nice to see you do so very well. Nice to see your Sorcy gals do the very, very best that they could, and they did a great job. I was really impressed with your playthrough. Well done, Steeson. Rice Ruin, the day you have feared has finally arrived. You get to play the Knight faction. Some people enjoy the Knights very, very much, and some people recognize that they have some limitations. The preamble there indicating that we have forest to the north, hopefully that means lots and lots of wood. Having the sea to the south, that means that we have lots and lots of wood from flotsam in the ocean. I think that our initial strategy is going to be exploring as much as possible. We're going to try and get into the water to pick up whatever the ocean may have for us. And we're looking to go forward from there. Impressed, I totally messed up. You acquitted yourself quite well. You should not feel bad about the way you played, Steeson. It is a pleasure to see you play. It's a pleasure to see you play. We start off with no resources, and we only start off with our peasant hovel and our archery range. We do have a marketplace. We do have a shipyard here. So we are going to get into the water as soon as possible. Also worth noting, we do have the fortifications. So knowing that we are at the center of the map, those fortifications could be useful if we are besieged by enemies on all sides. I see bone dragons immediately. My word, what's that about? And a treasure chest here. I'm going to assume that I have another knight hero lined up. It's probably going to be Gwyneth the Knight. Here's the question, is Gwyneth going to be my water-based scout, or will I have Astra the Sorceress try to make the most use out of her advanced navigation? I think that it's never a bad thing to get a couple of extra flyers into the Knight faction army because they lack that type of flexibility. And because there's advanced navigation, and because my second hero is going to go in the water, we're probably going to plan on it being Astra. And so for that reason, I think that Ambrose is going to be our main hero. However, early on, we're going to take gold instead of experience. And I see this Head of the Magi, Obelisk, and this observation tower. This observation tower is going to be massive, I am sure. Although you made the knights really shine with your crusaders on the Thunk videos, great job on those, by the way. Thank you very much, Rise to Ruin. That Thunk series, the two-parter, was a big undertaking, and I was just grateful for a win. There comes a point where you have to recognize that you are very, very much overmatched. Seaton says, you too. Good luck with the famous peasant snowball strategy of ours. The peasant snowball strategy is alive and well. From the tops of our tower, we see plenty of good things here. So immediately I see a Xanadu, which is interesting because the Knight faction does have a high chance of getting diplomacy. So we could get into the Xanadu earlier than other factions. This Archer's House is wonderful. And I can tell that the map designer specifically designed this area for the Knight faction because there's a Freeman's Foundry here, peasants, archers, and then 1 and 2 Knight towns, not to mention the stables. Folks, we may never upgrade our pikemen, our swordsmen, or our cavalries without going to one of these dwellings here, one of these adventure map objects. I think that that's not a bad strategy, actually. And as far as what's in the water, I do see enough flotsam that this looks like that might be a good strategy. But our sawmill is going to be first and foremost. The knights, of course, take so much wood. It will be worth my time, I believe, to pick up as much wood as I can before I do anything else, though. And using that wood, we will hopefully get into the water and try and snowball our wood generation in that regard. What does the phenomenon Xanadu mean to an American? Xanadu, I think, is just from a game, as far as I'm aware. When I hear Xanadu, I think, oh, what's the game? It's like, it's Link? What is that? It's not Final Fantasy. Legend of Zelda. When I hear that, that's what I think of, although I'm not sure if I'm 100% accurate on that. I could be wrong. Zelda, there you go. Yep, you got it. We do have the gold, but we don't have any other resources. Let's get another hero out here now. And knowing that we've got this observation tower, I don't think we're going to fight any of these fights. We're going to leave all these troops behind for now. Never mind. You know what? Lots of goblins, the peasants, and some sprites. They can help you take one good solid fight. Let's bring all these really slow troops out. And let's see if we can expand, get some freebies, and then we'll get Astra back into the water very, very shortly. But yeah, Xanadu makes me think of Zelda. I don't know if that's a game reference or if that's something else. I can't really tell you, unfortunately. But that's what I think of immediately. Whether right or wrong, I don't know. Good question. White Shield and Mermac. I'd love to pick those up as soon as possible. The sawmill, though, for now is everything we need. It's going to be 5 days until we can get a boat and get into the water. I think we're going to send one hero in this direction and one hero with the army over to our ore mine. So let's do that now. And just pick up whatever freebies we can. Peasants, we're going to pick up peasants. Peasants against goblins is probably the very best engagement you can hope for with the peasants. Yeah, the goblins are going to outclass you in every which way, but compared to centaurs, halflings, etc., that is going to be your very best fight. We can get through the trees here to get into this other castle, by the way. We'll hopefully do that sooner rather than later. We're going to take our +1 defense skill and take the ballistics here on Ambrose as we head over in this direction. I don't know, folks. So mutant zombies, there's no way I can defeat. And so if I go here, I'm not sure if I'm going to fight zombies or goblins. We're going to have to go the long way just to make sure that we don't mess this up. We're going to take the stables now for the extra movement. That's 400 extra movement points a day for the rest of the week. We're going to need the gold anyway. Might as well take it. Still looking for wood as our primary resource. And because gold is not really a problem here, I think that we're going to pick up another hero. Let's see. 33 peasants or the 38 peasants and the 3 archers. Come on. There's no question there. We're going to pick up Gwyneth. And because we have a couple of extra resources here with the ore, we are going to pick up the blacksmith. Again, we're looking for the wood here on impossible difficulty. That's more of the struggle. And so then these troops are hopefully going to resupply to the front, and we're going to get more out there just a little bit. Topal4HU. Hi, FixFox. I'm so glad I could catch your stream. I'm happy to have you here. Fantastic. I've been binging your YouTube videos for weeks. I love them. Thank you so much for saying so. I really appreciate people taking the time to let me know that they enjoy these videos, because I sure enjoy making them. I really do. I truly enjoy making the videos, and there's a whole ton of good play that we can all have with Heroes of Might and Magic 2, so I'm grateful that you're taking the time to let me know, and thank you so much. Happy to have you here. Steeson says, I've only found a few examples of what Xanadu might mean in English. It's a peaceful place of joy and wealth, I think. Some sort of legendary place you can never go to, hidden away like the end of a rainbow. That's pretty interesting, and more than I ever knew about it. So I will totally believe you on that, and I'll plan on that being my understanding moving forward. If I remember correctly, Xanadu is a wonder place of some sort from a classic English poem. Okay, there you go. Math Obsessed is backing that up as well. Wonderland, Michael Jackson residence. I'm pretty sure that Wonderland, I'm pretty sure that was the Neverland Ranch. Yeah, Michael Jackson had the Neverland Ranch that was under some intense scrutiny for a long, long time there. The King of Pop. There was, of course, I don't know anything about Michael Jackson. I don't know anything about the accusations or the ins and the outs of anything associated with that. I just know that there were accusations against him at the Neverland Ranch. So Wonderland, Wonderland being Alice in Wonderland, and then that being different. Folks, I wonder if perhaps sending the bulk of the army this direction and then my third hero to the west is a mistake. We mentioned that we have the ocean to the south, and we mentioned that we had a forest to the north. There is the sawmill. I'm wondering if maybe there's more freebies up here. Maybe Astra is going to find out that she is required in more places than one. Wanting her in the ocean, but also having her be the primary hero here to the north, that might be a bit of a mistake. We will have to wait and find out. So, as far as other things, we're up to 4 wood. We're going to need another 6 wood, 3 more days if we get the chance. Yeah, I think that you're just going to be very, very behind in your building here. On impossible difficulty, the Knight faction is pretty difficult because with no resources, if you don't find adequate amounts of wood and these other resources, you're going to be in a bad place. For an early game faction, it's interesting how difficult the build order is in week 1. For example, if you're going to get the swordsman, you have to get the tavern because the swordsmen have convinced their lords and lieges that, hey, if you want me, you have to give me more than just a nice place to be. You've got to give me some alcohol in order to make me effective at my job. And then the pikemen require the well. And so while rangers are generally the first tier of creature, the first major upgrade that you really want to get, they're very difficult to get in the first week, and that limits the whole faction's fighting ability. So the build order is very, very interesting for the Knight faction. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but I am saying that it is what it is, and it is a bit of a struggle. I'm wondering if we should not pick up a 4th hero. What else am I going to spend my gold on? We've got plenty of gold. I think it's time for us actually to build another hero. Sounds crazy, I know, but I think that that's what we're going to do. So let's pick up Wilfrey right now. He's going to be able to scout a little bit. He's going to have these halflings. I don't know if I should bring the halflings on the road with me or not. I do not know. Because if they meet up with this army, sure, it'll be nice to have a couple more ranged creatures. It will give me some issues with my morale, but of course the Knight faction does very, very well with all manner of troops being mixed because of their leadership. We're going to pick up the pikemen now. That Freeman's Foundry is looking too good. Let's bring out everybody and we'll combine forces, and maybe we can take these mummies, maybe we can fight some of these other fights and get out onto the adventure map just a little bit faster than we otherwise would. We still have 2,400 gold. We're doing the best we can. Steeson says, anyway, I gotta go. Good luck with the game. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it very, very much. Always a pleasure to have the FHeroes2 community hanging out and having a great time, because I have a great time with all of you. So yeah, I wonder then, as far as the Xanadu, was that, I don't want to say, let's see, how should I put this? Was that a reference to the Wonderland, or was that Xanadu a reference to something else? Did they hear it once and then it's supposed to be a little bit different? I don't know. By the way, Tree City here, Windmill here. These Orc Chiefs, I think that we're going to take them down pretty soon. There's a a Sorceress Castle here. Or Sorceress Town anyway. We're going to pick up, I think, all these sprites. Let me just see real quick. There's no other purchases to make at this time. These troops are going to be very valuable in clearing out some of these ranged creatures. I say we do this, but we're not going to have Gwyneth be the one to make all these fighting adjustments for us. Picking up gold. One other set of archer house. Good, good. That's 24 archers. That's wonderful. I wonder if there's something just here in the corner. There's not. And so we've gone about as far as we can go up in this northern direction. Let's have Astra head back as quickly as she can so that she can get back into the water for us. So that's the end of month 1, week 1, and now we're on to month 1, week 2, day 1. Pick up this Freeman's Foundry so we can upgrade our pikemen into veteran pikemen. Glorious victory here. Amazing how many losses you can take with the Knight faction. Look at this terrain, folks. This is wonderful for us. So there's one avenue here, 2, 3, and then this is all plugged up here. So all the mummies all the zombies are going to be flooding into this direction. Let's try and lose these peasants as much as possible. I've mentioned that peasants are the worst unit in the game. No one is debating that at all. But early on, this is exactly the kind of fight that they are useful for, because they are going to potentially take all this aggression, and if I lose 79 peasants, I'm not that sad. It's fine. We'll be okay. I'm sure that the peasantry really regrets that this is the way that their lord and liege feels about them, but I have to recognize their strengths and their weaknesses, and their strengths are that they can put out some damage and take one good solid hit, and then they're pretty much done. So, although, when we look at the Knight faction and the way that their defense works and the way that their stats works, peasants have the best faction that they could possibly be a part of in the way that they could scale. It's a really weak excuse. I'm sorry I even brought it up. It's not, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. At no point are the peasants ever going to be really useful. They're just there to die, as we've seen right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. The mummies are going to get in, but this stack of 8 has already gone. I think that we're just going to kill 1 to 2 and make sure that the archers stay safe. I do want to save the sprites as much as possible. 3 sprites do go down. We're down to 11. Let's work on this big stack of 8 here. That stack of now 5 is going to go next. I don't think I really care if the 2 mutant zombies get a hit off on my archers. They choose not to. They opt not to. Interesting. They do. Okay. My announcing skills are warming up for the day. As I've said many a time, sometimes I'll say left when I mean right. I will say east when I mean west. And that might have been the perfect example of that right there. Let's head on down and let the army do army type things. Wilfrey is going to work in this direction back up to the north. This might be a little bit less than efficient with his movement, but because I want Astra to be ready to go into the boat as soon as possible, I think that this will be the best thing for me, just to get ready. Gwyneth is now relegated to picking up whatever random things that she can find. And on the way back, Astra's going to do just a little bit of scouting, drop off those archers, and so on and so forth. We do have 10 wood right now. We do have a sorceress here, but we only have 2,500 gold. I think we're going to purchase the statue because we're up to the ore requirement. And then when Astra gets down there, we'll be ready to go. So this fight, lots of orc chiefs. I don't love this fight. I truly don't. We're going to win. I hope that the halflings take a lot of aggression. I think that's too much to ask for, though. I think that's way too much to ask for. And I actually think that the archers are going to take up the majority of this damage. And this could be anywhere between 20 to 49 orc chiefs. If it's 20 orc chiefs, okay, fine, not a problem. If it's 49, that's a bit of a problem. We're going to win either way. Is it worth the potential losses for 2 resources? I think not. I think we're actually going to wait until we can split up our army a little bit more effectively. But I do want to take this town so that I can get the additional gold from there. And these mummies, I did it again. They're not mummies. These are mutant zombies. Fix Fox, untie your tongue. Make sure that you are arousing your faculties, that you're awake and you're ready to go. We don't have time. This is war we are talking about. There is no time to dilly-dally or to be wrong about these very, very important maneuvers. This is why I should probably never be involved in anything. Let's see. I was about to say I should probably never be involved in anything where communication is critical and key, but the truth is that I know I am, constantly actually. That's what I do for a living pretty much. And so my communication is actually not the problem here. The problem here is that I'm trying to do too many things at once. I need to get a little chat emote where it just says, hey, FixFox is talking more than he's playing, because as we've mentioned before, that does tend to happen quite a bit. This is our main hero. Ambrose is our main hero. Now, we do have a lot of water to the south, but the thing about navigation to the south and for water-based maps is that it's really good on the secondary hero. It's less valuable on land. It's less valuable for your main fighting force. Getting the logistics and the supply lines going via the sea, very, very useful. But on the main hero, when wisdom is the other option, is there any question what we're going to take? I think not. So we're at 3 attack, 3 defense, 1 power, 1 knowledge. I would love either 1 additional knowledge or 1 additional spell power. Let's go into Basenji. I don't know if that's how you say it, but it's pretty interesting. 22 dwarves. This is a lot of dwarves. This is a lot of dwarves. I think that we don't need to send the sprites down in this fight. I think that our 29 archers can actually do a pretty good job of doing damage from afar here on these druids. And so I'm going to let them. I'm not going to take the damage from these dwarves. 1, 2, yeah. This stack of 43 sprites, I want to maintain this stack as long as possible. We're going to see how much damage the archers can do, but we're going to go from there. 6 halflings wanted to go on an adventure. We will let them. And now, though, the sprites are going to be able to go attack these druids without issue. Let's let our 25 archers really do the most damage that they can to these dwarves. No, 1, 2. We're still going to wait 1 more turn. That's going to be at least 7 hit points worth of damage. And the dwarves have really positioned themselves in a way where they want to take out the sprites. It's very impressive, actually. It's very impressive. Fix focus. Yeah, absolutely fix focus. Time to fix focus up. When I tell people that I need caffeine, this is the exact time, this is the exact place where a little bit of caffeine can go an awful long way. Okay, so finally, it cost us several archers, but we're going to save the sprites, which I think are a little bit more important at this current juncture. We're now going to put the dwarves in no man's land. We're going to obliterate them from afar. The fight is over. I just really have to make sure that the AI doesn't charge recklessly into these enemies here. I am going to save the peasants. I think that the veteran pikemen can take a solid hit there, plus a couple of these sprites, and it's going to be no problem. 2 sprites lost anyway. 6 archers and 2 sprites. Yeah, really, it's totally time for fixed focus. Now, this is a much more interesting decision. Archery, I like, but when you think about it, archery is essentially potentially doing 10% bonus damage at basic, 25% bonus damage at advanced, and 50% bonus damage at expert. The rangers are kind of the core unit to my personal strategy with the knight faction, and so anything you can do to buff them, very, very useful. But there's a lot of water here. Is navigation or archery better? I feel inclined to take archery because in general it's better, and for all the reasons I talked about why navigation is good but not the best, I think we're going to have to take it in this direction. So for better or for worse, that's the way we're going to go with this. I'm actually happy to see dwarves and sprites here. This tent is going to give us some additional gold, sure, but picking up these 12 sprites, I'm going to do that immediately and hopefully cover up the biggest issue that the knight faction has, which is that we struggle having no real ranged attack. With 2, let's see, should we have 2 or 3 stacks? I think that we're going to split the sprites into 3 stacks here. We're going to leave the peasants. We might come back for these peasants later. And I think that now we're going to take these orc chieftains. I feel pretty confident with this level of sprites that we can take this fight with very few losses. Astra is just a scout type of hero. We're going to let her continue on our way. By the way, crystal mine. Sawmill, critically important. Crystal mine, if you can get the crystal mine early, then you can potentially get your paladins and crusaders much earlier than you otherwise would be able to. We're not maybe being as effective on this map as we would have liked, but thankfully having 4 heroes is paying off, I think, because we're able to see that, oh, we've made a mistake, we found some new things that maybe we would have liked to have focused on originally, but at least we know our mistake by now. And that feels good. It feels good to at least know that we've made a mistake and we can now move forward with the mistake. We're up to the tavern. We're going to get the rest of our castle filled out here fairly quickly. Maybe it's not better to position pikemen cope to archers and not at the bottom, close to the archers and not at the bottom. Good evening, Crazy FX1. Nice to see you there. I agree. There's no reason why the veteran pikemen need to be so far away from the archers. This fight for the orc chieftains, I guess it doesn't matter, but the thing about Fixed Fox is, if I put it on close formation, there's a good chance I'm not going to remember to take it off of close formation. If I leave the veteran pikemen at the bottom of the battlefield, there's a good chance I'm not going to remember to bring them back. So that is actually a very, very important and good, apt observation, math obsessed. I appreciate that very much. We are going to send everybody down. We have no spells, remember, and so these are really just brawling type of fights here. Let's attack this top stack. That means that this top stack is going to eat our retaliation when they try and do damage to us. It looks like this bottom stack, these 18 sprites here, are going to save the most damage likely. I'm guessing they're going to attack here, here. Yep. And so then this bottom stack is going to just take a little bit less aggression. We could kill 4 to 6. I feel obligated to try and kill 4 to 6 here. We kill 5, that's really good. We'll let the sprites drop down in just 1 second. And then take this retaliation from the 1. Down to 2, down to 3, let's kill 3 here. And then let's start working on this bottom stack of 4. Sometimes the answer about where to attack in these situations feels pretty obvious to me. And in some places it feels like it doesn't matter that much. When I'm very critically examining all these options for me though, it usually comes down to where's the chance to kill 2 orcs instead of just 1. And you can tell with the damage range that I often leave on, you can tell pretty much where you should attack. Not always, but most times. Shrine of the Second Circle, that could be good. The Pocket Watch, allowing your hypnotized spells to be more effective, that's kind of whatever. We're going to take the defense skill. We're going to take the spell power. We've talked about how much we need spell power for the knights. Even on a secondary hero, that just seems like a good idea. We could take the treasure chest now. We shall. And I'm starting to get to the point where I'm thinking about taking experience over anything else. Let's actually get the stables now. It'll give us an additional 400 movement points tomorrow. So we'll actually get more movement points if we go out of our way and then backtrack. Crazy FX1, what are you up to? Actually, what's everybody up to? Math Obsessed, Rise to Ruin, Tobel4HU. Man, we got a whole ton of people in the chat. Zens was here for a moment. Yeah, I'm hoping everybody's having a good night. I'm hoping that everything's going fine. I'm streaming much later than I usually am. Usually I try and do a little bit earlier so that way the folks who are overseas from where I'm at here in America, they can see me before it's the dead of night. But today things just didn't work out like that, and that's okay. So hopefully everybody is winding down, taking it easy, doing good stuff, being happy and healthy in every which way. Thankfully we are getting ore, and it's taking a while though. It's taking a while though. We're still going to be so very far away from getting any of these towns upgraded to castles, but there is this other castle here. I really want Ambrose to head back. We're going to have him pick up this arena, and then tomorrow Gwyneth is going to explore as far as she can to the west, and we're probably going to turn right back around and go from there. Unless we see Luna. Luna is being a little bit aggressive in my territory. I'm imagining that she has seen Gwyneth and really wants to just take a free hero. I am inclined to not let her. Sprites and several of the dwarves. I think we still have the better army. We're still going to take the spell power for the reasons we've talked about, even though we don't have any spells just yet. So let's head on up here. I'm thinking about what to do in that direction. Interesting that we're already kind of getting some of that aggression from the enemies. There's another sawmill. It's worthwhile. Crystal. Crystal's excellent. Pack of mummies. Looks like Wilfrey's going to run out of room to run very, very quickly. Do I defeat Luna now? Horde of Sprites is still a lot. It could be 50 to 100. We have essentially 35, 5, and 23. The archers are going to get jumped on immediately. And you're going to have to swat each and every sprite out of the way. Each and every one. I'm going to send Gwyneth around, and if Well, and that answers my question. Thank goodness that I did that with my secondary hero. Gwyneth is officially on a mission to go as fast as she can and scout. And hopefully, wouldn't that have been nice to get that observation tower? We did not get that. Ambrose needs to turn around immediately. So, immediately, I am in a rough situation, folks. When we have unicorns already on the board for the sorceresses and they're already exploring into our terrain, I am immediately concerned because guess what? We've got pikemen. This ain't good. We got to get the armory. As much as I've been really kind of trying to get into the water, I don't know. We're still going to do it, but this is less than ideal. Astra is not going to be able to get into the boat today, so we're not going to purchase that now. Math obsessed with the shocked face, the scary like, oh my gosh, no. I agree, 100%. Computer Freak, hey Computer Freak. Hey, and by the way, Computer Freak, I good job doing the Kelvin Open the other day. You had popped into stream last week, and I did not realize that you had actually competed in the first one. So great job competing in the second one. Very nice to see you do so well. So well done, Computer Freak. Nice to have you back in the chat. I want to get this armory more than I want to get anything else. We're still 2 days away from getting the enough ore, but we do have a marketplace. Should we trade now? Any reason to trade now? I don't think so. I think we're going to wait one more day and go from there. Month 1, week 2, day 4. We're feeling the heat from the sorceresses. We're going to see. There's a chance that we're going to be able to get a look at these stats. Nope, looks like no. Greater Druids are immediately going to obliterate us, but we know that that's going to be 4 unicorns. 4 unicorns. Stupendous. Thankfully, the enemy's backed off. They picked up this observation tower, though. So our observation tower, I'm going to do a very highly technical move where I'm putting my fingers on my computer screen. It should be somewhere into this area. I'm guessing that this observation tower is letting them not see this town, but probably they can see the arena. If they turn back and go the other way, that would be stupendous. We will see. One of the best things about the FHeroes2 AI, in my opinion, is that it does not have the advantage of being completely omniscient. I think that that makes the gameplay feel better in so many ways. And I think that that makes moments like these, where the scouting is so important, feel good. Way better than the AI just knowing, hey, I can beat you right now, and so I shall. Tough choice here. Tough choice. I think I've got enough gold for now. But then again, Wilfrey doesn't have anywhere else to be. This map does not seem to have a lot of loose resources. I think we're just going to take the estates and then just make sure that we keep him alive. Let's do that. And then, since I'm here, might as well pick up some gems, some attack skill, and then we're probably going to head south and go from there. Okay, so on we go. Having the best time. Yes, I'm having a good time, having a good time. Dun, 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 dun. Something about Queen. I think that I've never met anybody that doesn't like the musical artist Queen. Quite frankly, understandable. But also, I'm waiting for the day that I do find someone, and then I get to ask them, hey, so you don't like the musical band Queen? Why is that? And not to be accusatory either, because quite frankly, anybody judging anybody's musical taste is kind of a weird thing to me. It's like, hey man, I just don't like it. It's like, all right, fair enough, fair enough. But I'm still waiting to see if anyone has a discernible reason for why Queen is just not their favorite. We will find out. Month 1, week 2, day 5. We are, if I could find a little bit of extra mercury, folks, I might be looking at trying to do a level 2 mage guild because it feels necessary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Ha 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 ha! That is terrifying. And they've all got some troops on them. Everybody here's got some troops. Thundax is actually not too bad even. Ruby's doing okay. Okay. Well, thankfully we're in a boat. Boat is good. Really, the whole reason for the boat is so we can get Flotsam, and so that way we can hopefully get our cavalries and champions sooner than we otherwise would have been able to.Maybe we're going to find something else nice at sea. I don't know. We will find out. Math Obsessed says, basically because Queen is one of the GOAT bands, one of the greatest of all time, are they, and they were really innovative at the time also. Definitely. I would agree with all of that. Innovative. Freddie Mercury just has a really unique and wonderful voice. Some people, like me, have a unique voice, but it doesn't make it a good singing voice, you know what I'm saying? Not for everybody. His voice is wonderful, the guitars, everything works out great. All of the band members were excellent at what they did, so I'm all for that. There's really, it's really hard to pick out something that was a flaw. The Beatles are one of those groups that is also generally well liked and well respected and things like that. And when I think about the Beatles, the biggest knock that I often hear is, oh, well, Ringo Starr on the drums, you know, Ringo wasn't even the best drummer in the Beatles, kind of a deal. And so you can try and nitpick and find little things that don't work out. Tell you what, it's got to be tough to be a musical artist when everyone is a critic. Zom has not got much, but he's got more than Astra. Astra needs to sail away and hopefully just explore as she goes through. 10 more wood, a little bit of extra gold. Shipwreck Survivor, sure, why not? And there's this free windmill here. I'm going to pick up the windmill now because that's 2 ore that I otherwise wouldn't have had. And then there will be the chance to get more of that later. By the way, these several bone dragons, this is the Staff of Wizardry. That is a +5 to your spell power. That is pretty good. I'm hoping that we get the chance to pick that up sooner rather than later. I might move some of these boars over to Astra just so that Zom doesn't feel inclined to attack her. He doesn't need to know that she's just better than him or that he's better than her, probably. Maybe he doesn't have anything at all, but maybe he does. So we are up to the jousting arena, and just in the nick of time, look at that, 20 wood on day 7. This is just exactly perfect. This was probably about as good as we could have done to this point. Probably about as good as we could have done to this point. And so, extra creatures, we got the well, we're up to our cavalries, and now it's the long, arduous task of getting wood and crystal for our paladins and our crusaders. The sorceresses have immediately upgraded this castle. If I had known that there was going to be this much heat, I would have sent one hero over here, but I probably would have tried to go more into this direction because now I have one castle and we know that they're operating off of at least 2 or 3. So, lessons that we learned now and we could potentially use to our advantage in the future, but we're not trying to play in the future. We're trying to win right here and right now. I like that Zom was like, oh, there you are, bye. Yeah, I'm here. Hey Fix, what are your thoughts on Age of Empires strategy game style versus Heroes, and what do you prefer? Personally, I prefer the slower, organized style with Heroes because my brain isn't designed for split-second decisions with Age of Empires, but both games are great. You know, I like Age of Empires a lot. It was, oh, Medal of Courage, wonderful. Age of Empires was one of the first games that I remember really playing a lot of when I was a young lad. And it was cool, it was innovative, and unlike RTS games, unlike the real-time strategy games of today, it felt like the pace was slow enough that I could keep up. Now granted, I'm in my early 30s, and so I'm a decrepit old man, and my reaction times have slowed. But still, I feel like games like StarCraft, which is generally recognized to be probably still currently the best RTS game out there right now, it's too fast for me. It's too fast paced. It doesn't feel, it feels less about strategy in the moment like Heroes is, and feels more about a pre-designed build order and scouting and trying to adapt on the fly, which is good, which is great, which is fun. Not my thing though. Not my thing. I love the Age of Empires though because it was slower than StarCraft. And I do love RTS games. RTS games are really, really fun. I like RTS games. That's what I want you to hear. That's what I hope you get out of this ranting of mine. But I think I will always prefer Heroes because I can play at a pace that makes me happy with my decisions. There is no clock here. Like, for example, right now I'm trying to decide, you know, is this my best upgrade for me? Is this worth it? I think it is. Although Master Swordsmen are good, well, we got stables there. Getting back to the Freeman's Foundry is highly unlikely. We could bring Wilfrey back and have him just take cavalries and just get them upgraded very, very quickly. And then we could get our Master Swordsman upgrade now. And that would actually be a really big upgrade. You know what? Hold on. hold on. Other than Natasha, these heroes are all garbage. These heroes are all experience for me. I think that we need to be in a position where we can be right here, and as they come closer, they realize that we're here, they realize that they've made a mistake, and then we are like the ghosts in Pac-Man and just go I think that that's what we need to do. That is the very best VFX sound effects that you're going to get from me, by the way. So Age of Empires, though, all-time quality classic game. Love it. Still enjoy playing it. I haven't played it through on the campaigns for quite some time, but I'm very much for it. I'm very much for it. I'm going to get the upgraded Jousting Arena now. It's the best upgrade on the table for me. I think I'm going to have enough gold afterwards to still purchase all these units. I think that we're going to do this now. Oh, I forgot that I hadn't upgraded my Rangers yet. Now we're down to 4,400 gold. Whoops. There's 3,000. Whoops. I had a plan here, and we lost the plan. Mr. McEpsilicious. Finally get to catch you live. Epiclicious. There we go. Mr. McEpiclicious. Finally get to catch you live. Thank you. I'm so glad you got to catch me live. I appreciate that. I'm very happy to have you here. Very happy to have you here. Yeah, we're having a lot of aggression from the west here, and I'm all for it. Because I think that this is turning out to be a pretty fun playthrough. Okay. I'm anticipating that Natasha is going to turn right around and come in our direction. I think that with this army, with 47 Rangers, I think that we're still tougher than any of her armies. A couple of the green enemies go back to the west, a couple go to the east, and I think that we just got spotted by Thundax. Yes, I think we did. This artifact is not much for me. I think we're going to be able to take out Thundax and then Luna shortly after. I do want Wilfrey to come back home so he can do a little bit of a resupply for me as quickly as possible. It looks like we are being pursued a little bit by Zom, perhaps. All this wood is mine. Nobody else's. All for me. And we do see another side. Oh, it looks like more to be had on this bit of the island. For some reason, I thought that maybe this was going to be just a big circle, a big island, kind of like a circle. And then going off from there, I was not sure if there would be extra land masses or whatnot. Maybe this map is to the point where there's land all the way to the corners, and then there's only sea to the south, and then only land to the north. But then again, Zom came from this direction. Are there necromancers on the Isles? I do not know. I cannot say. But what I can say is that Thundax is going down immediately. Glorious victory. There's no point in us fighting this fight because it was a glorious victory and we had no losses. We cannot possibly do any better. What do you guys think? Can we do any better? I think that was pretty much it. The Master Swordsman, I do want to get them into this Freeman's Foundry. I think Luna's going to run as fast as she can. I don't think she's going to be fast enough. We really need that ore mine. 8 ore. We are going to need it for the blacksmith and for the armory and for Mage Guild levels. I would have loved to have gotten the Mage Guild before we left. Not happening at this time. Let's pick up the Thieves Guild. Still need 4 crystal. Still need 4 crystal. Is there a chance that we can trade for crystal? There is this trading post here. Tell you what, let's just work our way west, and then by the time that we need to get our paladins, I think that we're going to have enough crystal. So let's just save on all of our other purchases at this time. I think that we just saw Natasha escape. She is running far and far away. Yeah, she's off the face of the map. This is all just their secondary heroes. And so I have the opportunity. Oh no, she's in the castle. Natasha's in the castle. Because Natasha stuck by, there was some other hero that left in that direction. It is worthwhile, since it's so very much on the way, to get our swordsman into Master Swordsman territory. And folks, there's crystal here, but if we land, we're never going to be able to outrun Zom. I think that we're going to use all of our movement points to scout as much as we can, and then we're going to come back. Look at that. And if we hadn't done that, we would have been in major trouble because Dawn is right here. I think that Dawn is going to be right close enough to attack us if we land. So I saw the opportunity for 4 crystal. Thankfully, we decided to use our scouting ability just a little bit more. And then we're going to go from there. Zom can probably get to here. So let's sit right here. And because of our advanced navigation, he's going to come up as close as he can to get us. We're going to hit the brakes. He's going to fly right by. That, of course, being a Top Gun reference. One of the greatest movies of all time. Some of those 80s movies really were pretty good. Top Gun, that's one of them. Although, and maybe you guys can let me know how you feel about it, I would love to have a movie that's not a spin-off or a reboot of a previously established franchise. I'm just about to the point where I'm officially done with movies that I've already seen tons and tons and tons of times. I'm just done with it. It feels like it's low effort. It feels bad, man. I'm not sure if I want Wilfried to pick up troops and then go and get that crystal for me or not. Sure can. Let's actually have him do that. It's gonna be nomads. He could pick up what? How many nomads is it? Lots? It's probably lots. That's so many. That's so many. Let's have him set off with as many of these troops as he can get. Rangers now. And we're gonna take the sprites because they might be very useful. And we're gonna see if we can catch up before we end up attacking this castle. We'll go from there. Rise to Ruin, maybe let them have the castle until day 7, then steal their mage guild. Cue Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap by AC/DC. Yeah, that's a good strategy. I worry because it's day 3, that's gonna be a little bit far away. That's gonna be a while. That's gonna be a while. I'm anticipating that Natasha's gonna stay here because I think that she knows that she's gonna lose to me. I think that she knows she's gonna lose to me. But if you can get the enemy to build up your castles for you, you're always feeling great. Always, every single time. Okay, so Dawn would have gotten the crystal and she might have gotten us if we weren't careful. I don't know where Zom went. We've got Dawn and Zom. El Hazard, hello Fixfox, hello chat, how's it going today? El Hazard, nice to have you back. We're doing okay here. We are feeling a ton of heat from some enemies right now, but we're doing the very best we can. We got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sorceress heroes. I know you can only have a max of 8, but somehow we have 9 who are just getting right in our face. I will assume that Natasha's not going to want to leave to go pick up Wilfrey. She might. She might jump out of the castle, attack Wilfrey, and then try and get back to the castle. If she tries that, I think that we're going to be able to step on her. I think that we're going to block her here by being just right in the middle of the road. And then she's going to have to go around us twice if she wants to do that. With this army and with our advanced ballistics, this is probably about as good of a fight as we're going to get. And if we can take this fight, we're going to break potentially their toughest hero. And then maybe at worst, she decides that she needs to run or surrender. All good things. All good things. All good things. Gonna take some of our wood. This might be a mistake because cathedral and trading for resources, that might be a thing, but I need to know. This castle had sprites and it had a dwarven cottage. There's going to be tons and tons of dwarves. I don't know if this is the right fight or not, but I don't think I have a lot of time really to wait and find out. This feels nice though. This feels very, very nice. We're trying to distract Fix from focusing currently, and you guys are doing a perfect job of it, because if it was bad, I would be like mad, but I'm not mad because you guys are doing it in the nicest, calmest, most loving way possible. And so I have no ill will towards anyone who is distracting me at this time. So thank you. So yeah, I mentioned in the previous video, I said that we're talking about either being 100% gameplay all the time, or we're talking about being an entertainer. And being in streaming, like doing streaming, I feel is much less about playing to the absolute sweatiest of my abilities. And I feel like it's very much more about entertainment and spending the time. And that's the thing that I love the most, is just getting to talk to everybody here. So you guys are never distracting me. You're the reason why I'm here. Thank you. Thank you. One sprite. That sprite's going to be so annoying. I wish I had exactly one lightning bolt. I guess that my sprite here is going to jump on that sprite. So my rangers are going to get the chance to go. That's not very fun though. Because that just happened, let's see. We can kill all 41 of these peasants now. We shall. We're going to kill 4 of the archers on the retaliation. I really hope that there's no magic arrow coming out. I don't think I'm going to be able to stop it though. There goes that 4-speed creature. It looks like we're going to actually win this fight. I don't know how we lost any sprites at all last time. Now that this fight shakes out like that, 3 sprites lost, that's not bad. 600 experience. Wonderful. I don't think I'm going to get up to a 4th level mage guild anytime soon. I think that we definitely want to take the estates. Estates is good. Gold is good. Gold becomes troops. Troops become advantages. Advantages become wins. You can totally quote me on that. In this case, I think that we're going to eat probably, what, 2 or 3 cold rays before the battle is over, and that's how we're going to lose all these troops. That feels bad, but I think it is what it is. We do have the good morale, so we can get lucky here, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Do we get a blind? We do get a blind. I'm actually happier with the blind than I am anything else. Dwarves, 1, 2. I'm going to attack this bottom stack of dwarf, because this middle stack of 13 is not going to be able to reach the sprites. So I feel just fine for that. And hopefully we can kill all of these dwarves. No, we cannot. That blind is going to last for a little while. We're going to let the elves retaliate, or eat my retaliation from these champions in just 1 second. And we're going to continue to crowd around the enemy. Yeah, at this point, if you're going to break the blind for me, I have no never mind about any kind of sadness. Good morale coming out. Wonderful. And the enemy opts not to run. That's terrific. That's another 865 experience for 1 sprite. And then Aragon. This fight's going to be a little bit more interesting because the Rangers are all spread out. 10, though. 10 sprites? I wonder if he's got a spell book. I wonder if he has a spell book. Either that or this fight is going to turn out much differently than I anticipated. Let's see. Killed the top stack. You're going to take full damage from these top ones. There it is. Cold Ray. 10 creatures perish. Yep, that's to be expected. Okay. It's one of those times where you can't really stop it. But thankfully, the other enemies were using the blind, and that's actually saved a lot of troops for me. So I'm down to only 21 of my sprites, but we just eliminated 3 heroes, and we picked up 2 levels, and one of those levels was +1 knowledge. That is fantastic, folks. So in the early goings of this game, as we pick up the advanced leadership, in the early goings, we were able to pick up the +1 knowledge there and the +1 spell power from this arena. As much as I want to take out Natasha, I don't feel very confident in this fight. It's day 5. We might be able to get back. We might. I don't know. I want to defeat her. I want to defeat her so bad. I think that we go back. I think that we get another level of Mage Guild. And then I think that we head on from there. Trading post, day 5. Day 5. I think that you have to trade for the crystal here with Wilfrey, because that is the quickest way I can make sure I get paladins by the end of this week. It's going to be very expensive. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 20 gems, but we do have the opportunity to get 5 gems a week here and here. So we are ready to pick up our paladins. It's going to be in 3 more days, so on day 7. Unless we find a little bit more wood here with Astra. I'm so worried about Zom that I don't want to just lose Astra for free. I do not want to lose Astra for free. Is there anything here? We do see Atlantium. There's no enemies in the boats. There's wood right here. There's wood right here. Do I land and hope I can get some exploration here? With Zom in the waters, I don't feel very comfortable. And if I go back, I'm probably going to eventually get obliterated anyway. Tell you what, let's land and let's find whatever we can find in this general area. Looks like there's an enemy right here that's landed. We're probably going to go down immediately. This might be just 10 wood that goes down, but I don't know where Zom is, and without knowing where Zom is, it just feels pretty bad. Actually, this might be Zom. Zom might have landed. Darn. Things that you wish you'd known, but now we do, and that feels okay. Cannot get any of these buildings. We're going for the cathedral. We're going to have enough gold. We got to find a lot of gold, folks. We got to find a lot of gold. Okay, yellow is to our east, green is to our west. Natasha is staying steady. I really want to pick up this observation tower more than anything. Even if I lose Wilfrey here, the observation tower is massive, just so that way I know where the castle is here. That way I know what to expect to the north, and so on and so forth. Interesting. Interesting. Without a spell book, I don't love this fight. I love it so little. I love it so very little. So we're gonna head back. But I did mess up. I don't think we're gonna have enough gold to make this fight work out in our favor, and that feels very, very sad. I'm gonna go just out of my way far enough to do a little bit of scouting, and I think I'm gonna get back in the boat. Maybe these Titans, yeah, actually, I think I'm safe here. I think that these Titans are making it so that I cannot be defeated. So, oh, is Zom back in the boat? Zom is back in the boat. He's gonna land on me in just 1 second, isn't he? So we're gonna just make him waste as much time as possible. We're gonna sit right here, and when he attacks us, we're gonna land. We're gonna go into the boat, and he's going to have to scuttle the boat when he defeats us. Zom will probably attack you if you get back in the boat. I agree. If I get it back in the boat now, we're attacked and done. If I wait, he has to go here, land, and then it costs him extra turns to make that happen. At this point, landing was the mistake. I did not realize that that was Zom at the time. So very sad. Very sad indeed. It's only 5,000 gold. We may trade for it. Oh, Natasha takes her opportunity and she goes out. Let's see here. I'm anticipating that we're going to eat one spell. Got a stone skin, might as well use it. Wilfrey is a level 1 hero. He does have the basic estates, but that's just because he picked up a free gazebo. He's been merely okay for us. What am I saying? He had a 6-speed creature that he used to scout to great effect. He's been fantastic. I have no regrets about his job that he's done. For his next employer, I'm absolutely going to give him a shining review. I will let them know, hey, he's a great worker. You're lucky to have him. Because that just seems like the right thing to do, right? Right? I'm hoping that Natasha, I'm hoping that by letting her live, that doesn't come back to bite me. I'm hoping that it does not come back to bite me. Okay. Let's see. Day 7. We are a little bit of gold short. We are going to trade for the gold necessary. Not trading all of our wood. We still have 24 wood left. And we got the cathedral. And because we actually need crystal, no, we only need gold to purchase paladins. Because we only need gold, I think that we head back now. I think we pick up 1,000 gold. Because gold is really, really sparse right now. And I think that we figure out what we can do to secure this area. I need the crystal. I need 1,000 gold there. If I could go back in time, I would have done this map so much differently. But we're not going back. We're going to make this work. Gonna make this work. Okay. Astra, we do suffer a bitter defeat there. Looks like our enemies to the east are up to the Hydras. Wonderful. And they're going back into the boat. 6 wood. When I talk about the value of the Knight faction, folks, when I really stop and think about it, they're valuable early on because they can use their troops that they find early to then take an enemy's castle. That's their job. That's what they're good at. I feel like we gotta get into a boat and we gotta go over here. Before the warlocks get too big and too scary, I think that we abandon this continent to some degree. To some degree, not completely. We've gotten the arena, we've gotten some of the freebies, and I think that we need to trade up. I think that we have the forces. Now is probably the very best time for it. I think that you definitely want at least a spell book to make that happen. We're out of movement points. We're not getting in the water today anyway. We're only going to have the cure and the stone skin, but even having the cure is going to be useful, especially because we got 2 and 2. And I'd rather have, if I'm gonna have the fight of my life, I would rather fight for a warlock castle than a sorceress castle. I would. Let's see, we're very, very far away from a boat though. We have no resources. Let's clear out this side. Let's ignore all this. If they get too close to me, okay, fine, I'll kill them. No problem. But let's take our spell book here. Take our freebies and pick up the rangers who are so very good. And grab what we can get. And prepare to head out and set sail to the east. The longer a scenario goes, the better it generally goes for me. If I can get enough stats, if I can get enough troops. I don't know if this is that situation. I really don't. This feels rough. And while I could probably defeat the sorceresses in a head-to-head fight right this very second, it's not going to be the most critical advantage for me, in my opinion. By the way, there are obelisks, and so there's a good chance that we can get an ultimate artifact later. Gonna take this, head north, so on and so forth. Huh. Would be great to have multiple heroes right now, but unfortunately we lost them all. And I don't even think that I used them very, very poorly. I knew I was losing our dear friend Wilfrey, but I did that to get that observation tower. I knew I was losing Astra. I made a mistake and I landed when I could have and should have stayed in the water. Yeah, there's been definitely some mistakes here in this fight, but we're doing the best we can. What town faction? We started off with knights. Yes, we have started off with knights, and it's been, I mean, it's the knights. It's the knight faction. There are always going to be some unique struggles with the knight faction, but in a 6-player map where the map size is the size it is, I thought I would have a little bit more room to breathe, and the quarters feel fairly close together. And that's okay. That's fine. Part of the reason why we played the Knight faction is because I haven't played a good Knight faction game in quite some time. 500 experience, no losses. And I mentioned that I've been working on some videos, and when thinking about the Knight faction and their advantages and disadvantages, I mentioned that I truly believe that the Knight faction has a lot of good, wonderful advantages, but that they have to be the ultimate opportunists and use the adventure map to their advantage. And I was hoping that we could display that here today. And I think what I'm really going to be displaying is the need to use your early forces now to trade up and take other castles. I mean, not the castle, the town, not already taken. Oh, yes, this is a Knight faction castle, and then there's a Knight town to the south, and then there's the Sorceress now castle to our immediate west, and then the Sorceresses just took another town that is a Knight faction town over there. So if I could have gotten a nice fast start, sure, I had some opportunities. Again, if I had known what the map was, I probably would have done things differently. Early on, though, I really did invest in multiple heroes to make this happen. More heroes means you have a higher chance, a better chance, at exploring the map thoroughly and picking your spots and making sure that you're taking advantage where you ought to. I did that correctly. It just hasn't panned out quite the way I would have hoped. How about that? This fight is a win at this point, but we're gonna just see this through to the end. Sprites are gonna take probably one more hit. For some reason, I feel like peasants are gonna do more damage than archers. There we go. 1 ranger, 9 of the sprites. But yeah, town, castle, Knight town, Knight castle. And even just for the extra 1,000 gold per day, this is gonna feel worth it. I'm gonna take these rangers. They're not rangers, they're archers. It's weird watching a live stream while at the end of my workday. Hope you're having a good one. E-Parade, nice to have you in here. Yeah, I'm very, very late, and I know that for the folks overseas that this is very, very late. So hopefully I'm get to be part of your wind down time. Is it worth it to go to the stable? I think, didn't I already go to the stable? I probably didn't, actually, now that I think about it. I probably didn't. This is going to be... this is going to be 3,000 gold now, and then 2,000 gold next. I actually think that I need to leave these archers. I think that we just need to use this castle as like a piggy bank. Let me think. No, because you have the castle, you're getting an extra 1,000 gold per day than you were otherwise. So the important decision is to do that now. I don't want Thundaxe to take this castle. He won't. Let's take our +1 attack skill. Let's head south immediately. And we will get the stables. Yeah, we did visit the stables this week. We're going to probably grab resources here and then head south at the start of week, or start of day 1. So, okay. No other purchases to make at this time. We finally have enough wood for a boat. We will get that in short order, and we are soon going to set sail east. And I hope that the warlocks are far away from their homes. I hope that they have no idea what's coming for them. And I hope that these rangers join me right now. They don't. That's very sad. I don't think I can make these losses work out any better. Let me think. I think I have do I have a stone skin? I might be able to stone skin my rangers. Let's take a quick peek here. Yeah. And then we're just going to hit Q because from there, that's going to save us 2 Rangers. That's fine. Expert Ballistics, actually very important knowing that we got a castle fight coming up pretty soon. And then I want the movement. I need the movement, but it's not going to be worth it to waste 1,300 movement, I fear. My goal is to get into the boat day 1 tomorrow. This might take me too far out of my way. I might go to here, and then it'll take another day here. That'll be too many days. Let's go here now. Pick up our resupply, and then abandon this continent. Don't love it. Don't love it. But I think that's what we're going to do. That's the plan that I have. With 8,000 gold. Oh, we don't have the stables anymore. Huh. Whoops. Okay. Because we don't have the stables anymore, we're definitely not going to make it. So my plan is for not. I should have gone out of my way. That's okay. We'll come back. No other purchases at this time. The paladin count grows to 10. We're going to have a big stack of paladins. Obelisk. Wow. There are so many obelisks on this map. Yeah, yes, rangers are so slow. They're faster than the archers are. Look at this. There's going to be at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's going to be like 45 to 50 obelisks on this map. My word. Assuming that that math trick works. Pack of bone dragons. If I had crusaders, I'd fight that fight. For the +5 spell power, that could be super useful. We're not going to do that right now. Not at this moment. So it's going to be one more day, and then we're going to put everybody into the army. Probably even leave pikemen and swordsmen behind so we can pick up all these other swordsmen that are not upgraded, unless we upgrade them now. Way too far away for the cathedral. Too far away here. We can trade. Gonna be hard to do the map trick with that obelisk reveal every time you see a mine. Yeah, every single time I see a gem mine, we're gonna look to see if that's the place, if that's the one. You got it. Well, there's nothing we can do right now. They just upgraded that Warlock Castle there in Brownstone. Let's pick up all 10 of these paladins. Let's pick up the boat now. Let's then get the champions. And then we're going to fill out our army with the final bit of rangers, and that's going to be our army. +5 spell power. We may never come back for this, and that could be the difference between our spells hitting hard or not. Is it going to be worth the losses? Are these going to be acceptable losses? We're going to be faster than the Bone Dragons. Veteran Pikemen and Master Swordsmen are both 5 speed. They're going to step in front of the Rangers. So the Rangers are going to be defended. We're going to lose some champions, going to lose some paladins. We're going to fight this fight. The +5 is too big of a draw for me, and I feel like I've got to do something nifty. So let's try and maintain the stack size of the paladins. Well, then again, the champions are going to attack right now. They're going to be able to kill 1 to 2. They're going to kill maybe 1. Let's do this. Let's do the stone skin here. No, the paladins are still better. Let's keep the paladins alive. And if we lose a couple of champions, we lose a couple of champions. I don't think that the bone dragons are going to just crowd around the champions. I really don't think that they will. So I think we're going to be okay to just go into our defensive position. Move the paladins kind of into this defensive, kind of this middle ground here. Let's see where the bone dragons go. They do go for the paladins. So this big stack is gone. Look how many bone dragons we're going to kill here, though. 4 down to 3, 3 down to 1. That feels pretty okay to me. Another paladin goes down, and then 32 damage there. So 8 paladins remaining. We're going to kill 1 bone dragon, 98 hit points. That leaves a lot of damage on the table. It's highly likely that we're going to kill 1 bone dragon here. Let's do that. We do. And then maintain force for the rest of these troops. The cure right now is only going to do 10 hit points worth of curing. It's not going to be that useful. Let's kill this big stack of bone dragons here. 1 more paladin goes down. That stack's almost gone. Kill the stack that has yet to go. And we're going to lose 4 paladins, going to lose 2 of the champions. We did not fight that fight any better. 1,600 experience. We're going to take the expert leadership, and more importantly, we're going to take this artifact. While out scaring up game, your troops find a mysterious staff levitating about 3 feet off the ground. They hand it to you, and you notice an inscription. It reads, "Brains best brawn, and magic beats might. Heed my words, and you'll win every fight." This is +5 to our spell power, which for a knight actually feels okay. Because we can't get in the boat now because Fix Fox is just that unlucky. That wasn't unlucky. When people say, "Oh man, unlucky," it's like, no, that was a tactical error. You know, there's no good or bad luck in strategy games like this. There's just tactical errors, and that's okay. That will give us the opportunity to purchase a few more troops before we leave, and so that'll feel all right for what it's worth. I would love to pick up this mage guild, but we're getting 1 crystal a day. There's no way we can trade for the wood or the other resources. This is just a bit of a struggle here right now. So we're going to be leaving swordsmen and pikemen behind. We're going to take 12 more rangers, and we're going to set sail for the Undying Lands to the east. It's going to take us several days to get there, actually. 5 days? My word. That's actually much longer than I thought it would be. I forgot that we don't have navigation. Okay. As soon as we can, when we might trade for it, we're probably going to trade for the gold necessary to get another hero. As yellow pushes into my territory. Hopefully this is a big hero. It's not. It's Dawn. We don't really care about Dawn, do we? But we're going to head on over in this direction. And if we see dragons here, we're immediately going to be very, very sad. Very, very sad indeed. We are 1 gold away, 1 resource worth of gold away from getting another hero. Let's trade. Let's pick up. It's going to be Gwyneth the Knight. She is back. Unless we get Castor. I think I just need a fast hero more than a strong hero right now. Let's get Castor because he's got the 6-speed gargoyles. And then he could set off immediately with those gargoyles. In fact, I'm going to let him keep all but 1. That way if I hire another scout, then that other scout can have a 6-speed creature. And then he could pick up water wheels, sawmills, things like this. All stuff that I wanted to pick up a long time ago, just didn't have the opportunity. And then hopefully the castles here will actually hold out with their fortifications, the good troops that are there. Hopefully they're going to hold out long enough, and these are just going to remain gold mines for me and slowly accrue troops and slowly help me move forward with my plans. Hopefully there's 5 gems in here. No enemies have come through this area. That's good. 1 sorceress hero is heading my direction from the west. I think that was Zom again. Is that Zom? Zom is back, but this time he's got nothing on him. He is not a tough hero at this time. We're going to pick up the plus there from the buoy. It's going to be 500 gold. Stables. And then things like the windmill, things like the attack skill. I suppose I could go up here, rally these troops, and then send them south. Tell you what, you're going to want the +1 attack. You're going to want the +1 defense. I know that I'm moving so fast, I just wasted 3 movement points out of my way that way, but this is a little bit of crunch time right now. It's month 2, week 1, day 7. We're on to month 2, week 2, day 1. And I'm hoping that the enemies are far, far away from me. This is my strategy. This is what this has all been building up towards. And to our name, we do have the expert ballistics, the cure, and the stone skin. Not much. We're going to have to take this fight. This fight is going to be critically important. We have to win. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Okay. Rangers. Rangers. There's more stuff to do south. Let's just grab these troops now. 16 archers. I think that we're actually due for 1 more hero. Call it an investment in just making sure that we pick up freebies wherever we can. Like here. And folks, if this is a loss, then this is a terrible error on my part, and there will be no coming back from it, I fear. We're still going to do our very, very best to do so. Don't get me wrong, I'm not just going to throw in the towel, but it's going to be a little bit of a struggle one way or the other. I'm anticipating that there's going to be, 4 hydras here, probably at least 1 week's worth of creatures. and we will see what happens immediately after this. Let's fight this fight. Glorious victory. 26 of the Rangers, 1 pikeman, 3 of the Paladins. Let's see if we can do even better. Zom with his spells is going to be very, very annoying at best. Let's save our cure. This is going to be critically important. Let's save our cure so that way if he does end up doing a blind or something, we can always counteract that. We do immediately get through the wall in 2 cases, in 2 instances. 8 Hydras. Ouch, that's going to be a lot of Hydras. So for that reason, let's actually send the... Do we send the champions to the very far north? I think that we actually hop into the moat here and plan on this section of wall going down next. And that way we're not going to eat the damage from the Hydras immediately. And we're going to get into the moat ready to scale these castle walls next turn. Hydras in the castle, you hate to see it. Yeah, that's where they're the absolute best, huh? That is where the enemy wants to see their money. That's where they want to put their money. That's for sure. Stone skin. So the curse is actually kind of interesting because I don't think I can beat all these gargoyles. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't have a haste. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're going to be in a little bit of a rough position here, aren't we? We couldn't have stopped the gargoyles anyway. There's a chance we get some good morale. But let's wait on the stone skin for just a second. There's 1 instance of good morale. We do have blood morale. So for all of the low damage that the low stats comparatively, the averageness of the Knight faction, they do get the opportunity to go twice on several instances. By the way, 85 Rangers are going to do more damage than these Paladins. These Minotaur Kings are going to go down very, very quickly. And I think that because these 2 Hex Griffins are right here, sure, they're going to go in a moment, but they're not going to be fast enough to dive in on these Rangers. So for that reason, let's just take a quick peek. Am I going to kill all these Minotaurs? I will not, and so I am going to spend the cure, just so that way I can kill 1 whole stack of these Minotaur Kings. Whoa, I still didn't even... Wow. Even though we removed the cure, we still didn't get the best options for us, and that's okay. These things happen. I think... Let's take out the Centaurs now. My next shot from the Rangers are hopefully going to obliterate these Hydras. 1 Ranger goes down, no problems. I don't know where the Griffins are going to go. We'll wait and find out. Wait. Too far away. No problems there. And then with our archery skill, which remember we kind of labored over whether archery was a good decision or not, it removes the 50% penalty when shooting past walls. Basic archery here has actually been tremendous. The ballistics, the archery for the Knight factions, those have been so very useful for us. We are once again going to cure, but we don't know if there's an upcoming fight. That'll be we'll have 1 more cure after this if we so desire. Let's just take our losses. We're going to get out of this scenario, out of this battle a little bit later than I would like to. But because the Hydras have just gone, we're not going to take 1 additional round of combat from these turrets. We're going to kill 2 to 3 Hydras here. We kill 2. We're going to skip, and kill. And we're going to save the spell points for a later fight. 27 of the Rangers go down, 1 of the champions. Not too bad of a fight, 2,700 experience. And I'm wondering if Zom actually has anything good. He does not. Does not. So far, so good, folks. So far, so good. The plan is working. Good plan, bad plan. The plan is working for now. We will see. And this should be, I do believe, this should be Yellow's main castle. And now we have just used our benefit, our bonus that the Knight faction has to get lots of good quality troops early. And we have now used that to roll into this new opportunity. Fix Fox, why would you ever play the Knight faction when you could just start off with the Warlocks? Because you get the opportunity to get a good, solid hero. I personally believe that the Knight faction has the all-around best heroes in the game. I do. I really think that the Knight faction, with their good mix of might and magic and their averageness after level 9, I think that the Knight heroes actually are the best heroes in the game. Personal opinion. You start off with good heroes that can get even better over time, and you get the opportunity to then do some snowbally type stuff, and then we've just taken Yellow's knees right out from under them. So the extra knowledge should pay off for your spell management. Yeah, +1 knowledge. Way to go, E-Parade. I appreciate that. I would have missed that, so thank you. I got busy talking. The diplomacy, I think that at this point, diplomacy doesn't feel as valuable. but I definitely don't think that the advanced wisdom, I'm guessing that there's not a 4th or 5th level mage guild here in this castle. We're going to take the diplomacy, so that way if we need to run, we can run, and it's going to cost us way, way less. Let's see if that was a good decision or bad decision. Level 2 mage guild, not bad. Damaging spells, usually not good for the knight faction. You'd usually have buffing or debuffing spells as your priority, but we picked up that +5 to our spell power, so we're feeling excellent about that. The green tower. Folks, we have 12 sulfur. We are not too far away from this. If we can get a sulfur mine, we'll be feeling okay. We'll be feeling okay. I think that we're going to have, with our 6,000 gold, we're going to have Ambrose step out of the way, purchase another hero immediately. It's going to be Ariel. And she's going to leave the dwarves because sure, why not? And oh, she's going to leave most of the sprites. Like this. And she's going to go up the road. I need information right now. I would hate to have Ambrose go out lollygagging and then find out that he's made a critical error. Observation tower, very important. This road, if an enemy is right here, I cannot guarantee that they can't get into this castle of Atlantium. I need the spell points anyway. Let's just sit here overnight. We're going to waste some spell points or some movement points, excuse me, for Ambrose. 825 out of 1,200. But we are very happy with our prize here. We are getting 4,100 gold per day, 2 wood, 1 crystal. This could be worse. Mr. McEpiclicious. Recently, I picked up the original Heroes of Might and Magic for Windows 95, and it came with the manual, which is in good condition. I'm excited to install it, apply the patch, and finally play it. I am thrilled for that. The original Heroes of Might and Magic for Windows 95, and it came with a manual. So did you buy this at a yard sale? At a rummage sale? Did you buy this at like online, eBay or something like that? I'd be very, very interested to know where you found that, because that is a piece of gaming culture and history. And I would love, actually, I think I would love to have a copy of it myself. Even though I don't really play a lot of Heroes of Might and Magic 1, it's really not my favorite thing. Didn't we just beat you? Yeah, we just beat you, buddy. He's got 3 spell power. We're gonna hire him. I still would love to have a copy of that just because it's interesting to me. Zom's gonna hop in the boat. Ambrose is gonna get his spell points returned. Pastor is going to stay safe, but head south. Again, he's gonna hopefully hold this one castle here for us, if at all possible. Flint is going to hopefully go on a wild goose chase. I don't know if Natasha's gonna go first or Thundax. Let's try and bring these heroes out of their way. Let's go to the north here and see if we can get them to go north. And then let's hire whatever heroes we can here, whatever troops. Halflings are not going to make it. I would prefer to have good morale than anything, because you have to have the tavern. So let's get rid of, well, what else can we purchase here? We've got quality troops here. Do we have the captain's quarters? I think not. Let's pick up the captain's quarters for 500 gold just in case we don't get another hero over here. And then let's pick up 2 of the paladins, and then we're just going to wait here. We're going to have okay morale. It's going to be normal morale, even though our troops are all mixed. Splitting troops here. And then let's hope we can hold out. We don't have a left turret, right turret. We just have the fortifications. We need one more day. I need one more day just to make this all work out. Let's hope that Natasha goes north instead of south. And then month 2, week 2, day 2. On to day 3. Okay, so Flint goes there. I think that, let's see, they're going to get the opportunity to go first because Greater Druids, of course. I found it on eBay. I have the original on Good Old Games, but the game has issues as it is the DOS version, and the patch is incompatible with the DOS version. Interesting. So was there a patch, just so I'm understanding, was there a patch that was put out by the game developers later? And then they, like, it's meant to do balance changes or just make the game run smoother? Do we know what is all entailed with that patch change? I'd be very interested to find out. Observation tower here. There's another castle. We must take this as soon as possible. Thalagar is coming. He is not tough. I am not scared of you at all, buddy. I am not scared of you at all. Here is our sulfur mine. We have to get our sulfur mine so that way we can get our other good fun stuff. I think that we're going to go up this road as quickly as possible. Up the road. And then Ariel is probably going to take the troops from here and then peel off to go and defeat Weed Patch. It does not look like it's going to be that difficult to take. We can get there in 3 days. We can get there in 3 days. Unless, I'm guessing that if we take our average speed creatures and just trade them out for a 7-speed champion. I got a feeling that we can make this work. With 15 champions, we're not going to lose to Falagar, and then we might be in range of just taking Weed Patch tomorrow. That'd be my hope anyway. But yeah, Heroes of Might and Magic 1 was very, very interesting. By the way, every single time I see a portrait that I know is in Heroes of Might and Magic 1, and then it's here in Heroes 2, it makes me so very, very happy. The original portrait for Yogg in Heroes of Might and Magic 1 looks so interesting to me, and I don't hate it at all. It's just fun to see what things carried over and what things did not. For example, Tyro, he carried over from 1 to 2. That portrait's the very, very same. I think that Ariel is, like, she got a little bit of a glow up, but she's still pretty much the same. Yeah, just interesting stuff that we find there. I found a patch on some Russian forums. It has something to do with how the music and graphics work, causing instability on modern systems. That's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. And I completely and totally believe it. And I think that's going to be a massive upgrade for you. I'm happy that you're going to get that. That's going to be stupendous. Let's get rid of the boars. That's going to help our morale go up. And it's going to make room for some of these rangers. We don't have enough ore to build left turret, right turret. And so unfortunately, this is going to be the very best we could have done. Hate to see it, but it is what it is. Luna is in 2 and 3. Yep, they changed the portrait on Luna from 2 to 3, but that is the same Luna. I think that Gem, the sorceress, actually makes an appearance in every single iteration of Heroes of Might and Magic. Look at this. 7 spell power, 5 knowledge. She only has 17 spell points. But with these forces, that's going to be enough. Sickening. Absolutely sickening. Well, there's no point in flying the gargoyle out here because the unicorns are going to get to go. Oh, these are elves and not grand elves. And so the speed is different. I was anticipating a 6-speed creature here. These are actually 4-speed elves. One of the only 2 units in the game that when you upgrade them, they get +2 to their speed. Of course, elves to grand elves goes from 4-speed to 6-speed. Minotaurs are the other one, going from 4-speed up to 6-speed. I don't know why I waited here. I think that the ballista did 33 damage. Folks, I'm going to save my brain power. Are you sure you want to finish this battle in auto mode? Yeah. I think for some reason, I think that the AI is actually going to fight that fight better than I will. I really do. So when it's overwhelming and I don't feel like I have any possibility at winning, it just feels like that's the best solution for me. Here's Alamar. Okay, so I think Ariel is going to very quickly... Oh, you dirty dog. Look at this. We have to defeat Falagar. Falagar is probably just a scout hero. I'll be back, El Hazard 42. Yeah, I'll be back. Speaking of 80s movies that were top notch, I think that this is probably the best thing I can do because I want to defeat Falagar and then still hopefully make it to Weed Patch. I think if I'm able to fight him, travel by road... Can Ambrose reach regardless? Let's see. We've got 751 movement points. If I go 1 movement point out of my way, I'm still going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by road, so call it 75. Yeah, so I should be able to actually trade. I'll just give Ariel all these troops. I will still be able to reach Alamar. She will defeat Falagar very, very quickly. No losses. I just wanted to make sure he wasn't going to cast some crazy spells or something. And then can she reach? She can. And there are defenders now. But I think Alamar is the fight that I want. In fact, I know it is. In fact, I know it is. There's a third Shrine of the Third Circle here. I think it's going to be worth my time to give the troops back. All of them. Make sure that the paladins are a little bit closer to the top. No. We'll do it like this. Champions at the bottom. I hate to put the champions at the bottom because if there's bad terrain, that generally puts them in a bad spot. But I really want to defend these rangers. They're going to have gargoyles. They're going to have griffins. Hydras are really the unit that I'm worried about, though. you're going to want the damage from the champions to be able to assist up here. And if we put the champions here, the gargoyles are still going to go right after. They're then going to jump right in front of the rangers, unless the enemy blinds our rangers, in which case we'll be able to cure that. The gargoyles, thinking that they've eliminated that threat, will fly and do something else. Because that's a possibility, let's just do it like this. Let's have the veteran pikemen at the very bottom, and let's fight this fight in this direction. That's gonna be the way we go. And then Ariel, rather than defeat whatever creatures are here, she's gonna go out of her way for the sawmill, Shrine of the Third Circle, a little bit of extra experience, etc., etc. Holy Word, not bad, not great. Worth it to switch formation from close or from spread to close? That's a good question. That's a very good question. Oh, there are no gargoyles. There are no gargoyles. I just assumed that there would be. You know, close formation is actually probably worse if lots of hydras are going to be the scary deal. And we're not going to need to worry about really defending our rangers so much. Our 5-speed creatures are going to be able to do that. I think we do this. I think that we stay apart so that the hydras can't jump on us all at once. And I think we fight this fight. I think we're going to win. I think we're going to take some tremendous losses because we know that there is Cold Ray and Lightning Bolt available, but there is no blind here unless he's picked it up somewhere else. I'm overanalyzing this fight, but I hope that this is worthwhile to you to hear me overanalyze this fight, because these are the things you can do before a fight even happens to make sure that the fight goes your way. I say that, and then I'm the guy that forgot that there are no gargoyles in this army. Let's fight this fight. Glorious victory. 20 hydras. My word. Let's do our very best to keep these rangers going. Let them do the very best they can. With this terrain, we can't cover up anyway. That's so many hydras. I agree. 20 times 75. 75 hit points per hydra, and that's 20 of them. Call that, was that 1,500 hit points? That's 1,500 hit points worth of hydras. We do have 200 hit points worth of damage at a time with the lightning bolts and such, but still not that great. 1 attack, 1 defense. Folks, 11 spell power, but only 2 knowledge. 11 spell points, but only 2 knowledge. He can cast 3 cold rays, or he can cast 2 lightning bolts. Fortunately, no haste in the Mage Guild. Yeah, if he picked up a teleport somewhere else, that would be the very worst thing, but I don't think we're going to need to worry about that. You need whatever artifact that is? I do. We're definitely going to try and make sure this fight that they do not run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to go to right here. Trying to leave this avenue open. It's not worth it to me to throw my champions towards the hydras. I would still like to keep these troops alive as long as possible. So we're going to skip. Magic Arrow. That's the spell you go with? Buddy, I can almost guarantee that you've got a Cold Ray, but that's the spell you go with? Now you have 2 lightning bolts if you want them. All right, whatever. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, and I could be wrong. Maybe he's got less than I think he does. The hydras are going to be so slow. I think that we let the rangers defeat the Minotaur Kings now. Let's not take the retaliation from these paladins, or onto these paladins. And I'm not too worried about these centaurs here. They're going to do their damage. Okay, sure, fine, whatever. Let's kill, looks like 8 Minotaur Kings, and then I think that these champions should be able to defeat the rest of these guys here. Let's try and kill 9. We do kill 9 griffins. Ouch. 2 rangers go down. Let's have swordsmen see if they can respond up in this direction. We didn't cast a first level spell, did we? Whoops. There's a magic well right near us. I'm not too worried about using our spells in this instance. But what I am worried about is the enemy running and me not being able to stop him. Okay. Hello, heroes. Don, how you doing, sir? Very nice to have you here. Down to 19. I really need somebody to deal with this 1 centaur, because that 1 centaur could be the difference between the enemy running or not. Let's do the 1 magic arrow now, because that looks like that's going to be the very best way for me to take out that 1 single centaur. 1 single centaur. Paladins are gone. Ouch. Okay, but we're to this point. Let's see. Down to 9 hydras. We can kill 1 to 3. They're going to go in this direction. Let's back off. Yeah, let's actually back off one more turn. How much damage have the Rangers been doing? Rangers were killing about 4 Hydras each, doing about 150 damage per attack. So that's 4 there. That's 1 to 3 there. 4, 5, 6. Let's just call it 6 conservatively, plus 200 spell points. Can the Master Swordsman defeat the Centaurs? Master Swordsman did 56 and they killed 8. So let's assume that the Centaurs are going to go down there. Am I going to be able to do enough damage to wipe the enemy off the face of the map this turn? I think I'm going to give it a shot. There's a chance I'll be able to, especially with the extra 200 damage from the lightning bolt, and we don't want the enemy to run. So we're down to a little bit here. We're down to 4. Perfect. And the good morale. Folks, wonderful. What a fortuitous circumstance. I don't want to say that this was necessarily a calculation, because you can't plan on good morale, but it worked out okay. And that was way better than trying to wait for one more turn. So that way you don't approach that barrier where the AI recognizes that it has so few hit points left on the map that it should run. That 200 extra damage from the lightning bolt, that was it. So costly in the sense that we lost all the paladins, but they did their job. The paladins did their job, and now we have space in the army where we can let go of the pikemen, the master swordsmen, because there's only 5 and 5 of those, and then we also have a slot available for some other warlock troops there. So 70 rangers, 15 champions, and then fill it out with gargoyles and the likes. Seems okay to me. Badge of Courage. I forgot that I gave that over. I picked that up from a shipwreck survivor. I forgot about that. So Medal of Courage, Medal of Distinction. Not very useful for us. We're going to take the pathfinding here because we do see the swamp right there. There's one enemy here. We don't know who it is. We are a little bit scared to find out. We're going to go back. And this whole area is just lost. It is what it is. Castor's job now is to try and save whatever freebies he can and hold on to this castle as long as possible. Meanwhile, we've determined that there's some stuff over there. We got to find whatever's in our corners. And funny enough, because Zom himself actually sailed in this direction, you'd think I'd just be able to ask him, hey, do you remember what was over there? That would be a very interesting balance change in Heroes of Might and Magic. That would be very interesting if you could hire an enemy's hero and then instantly get granted all of the vision that they themselves picked up while they were in the employ of the enemy. Sabu and Lord Kilburn, I think we're going to go straight for... I'm guessing that Weed Patch is much better upgraded than this one over here. And so we're going to wait on the Alchemist Slab, don't really need it. We're going to go south. We're going to defeat whatever's in here. We'll head north later, but I just want a solid wall at my back. Basic logistics, never bad. Always good, never bad. I don't think Sabu can reach. Yeah, he's got the orcs. Those are a 2-speed creature. They're very, very slow. And what was that? Let's see. We got view artifacts here, folks. There's an artifact here, here. It looks like there's nothing to the south in the ocean. I think I was right. I think that this is all ocean to the south. Probably ending here. And then to the north, it's all land. All land. E-Parade. Where'd the 11 spell power come from if those were the only artifacts? That is a great question. So warlocks do get a 50% chance on level up to take the... to get power. That's what they're most likely to get. So it's possible that they just got incredibly, insanely lucky. And if that's the case, then okay. But more than that, I cannot say. I do not know. We saw like an enemy kind of poke their head out of the darkness here. I'm going to land. This could be bad. This could be good. I'm going to land just so that way I can do some land exploring before I get attacked here. Map power-ups in abundance. There is possible standing stones here. That's one anyway. So there's some opportunities there as well. Maybe the +1 spell power each level up, even if that's even possible. Yep, map power-ups in abundance. We didn't actually, I don't remember checking to see what level Alamar was when we defeated him. Yeah, if he was high enough level, then there's no problem, but I just don't know. I don't remember. Don't remember. Weed Patch is ours for the taking. I don't know what's in here. I don't care. Looks like 1 week's worth of growth, but they've got hydras here too. So we're going to have 2 swamps working in conjunction. If we can get 8 hydras a week, I might be persuaded to take hydras on the road which is something you usually do not see Fixfox do, but I will consider it strongly. I need to take care of these gargoyles because I don't want them to jump onto the rangers. Oh, do I want to put myself in harm's way here? Sure. Fine. Why not? That's one champion goes down. Lots of Minotaur Kings. Let's see. Defensive position here so the Griffins can't do anything. And then the Hydras are going to incur my wrath. 18. I'm going to waste a spell on the Centaurs in a second. Next turn, I'm going to use a spell on the Centaurs. And I feel good about that decision. 42 hit points left. Man, it feels like there's no good choices. Griffins fly out, and then they get accosted by these troops here. So then it goes Lightning Bolt, Dead Minotaurs, and then hopefully we kill all the Griffins here. Unfortunately, we don't. And that will cost us 4, 6, 8 more Rangers, 9 more Rangers total. A lot of Rangers going down. 20 total. Ouch. 1,300 experience. We'll take it. The cost of surrendering reduced down to 30%. I think that we just still want the pathfinding. If we get advanced pathfinding, then in Swamp, you only have a 25% penalty, and that feels pretty good. Ariel is going to stay out of the way of this aggressor here. Picking up another obelisk. Looks like this is... I can't ever tell if this is beach or if this is snow. This looks like snow to me. So somewhere in the snowy north. This looks like a not a ocean here. This looks more like a stream. But one gem mine and some snowy trees. That's our heading. Let's see though if there's any spells here. Dispel. We'll take the Dispel magic. That's worth stepping into the Mage Guild for. But we're not going to stay too long because there is a magic well here, and that'll suit our purposes just fine. Do I hop in the boat with Ariel? Have another hero in the water? I feel like any more heroes in the water are going to die very, very quickly. And so I'm not going to do that for now. It's day 6. I'm going to leave Ariel in Weed Patch for 2 days. And then on the new day, she's going to come out with Minotaur Kings, Hydras, and then we're going to roll all of these enemies to the north. That's what we're going to do. That is what we're going to do. Pastor. +1 to attack skill. Never mind. He was so confident. I was so confident that that's what was going to happen. No. I think I can build the statue in here. Never mind. Folks, we're only getting 2 wood, 1 crystal, and 4,600 gold per day. Again, sulfur mine here. That's really my priority so I can get the dragons. It's day 6. It's not happening this week, but we'll see what we can do in short order. Looks like this probably was a little bit of a treasure island, but now the treasure is all gone because we, of course, did not make it here first. But I feel better. I feel a lot better. Do you feel better? When we were just the knights in the very center and we felt all this pressure from the sorceresses, it felt pretty bad. This feels much better. Yes, sure, we have the ocean, as we see orange for the first time. We see, you know, we have the ocean and there's some troops potentially to our back that can disrupt us, but that's fine. I think we're going to be okay with that. That doesn't worry me that much. It really doesn't. It feels much better to have to worry about enemies from the ocean than to worry about sorceresses in bulk here. This is just a better choke point here for us to deal with. One way in, one way out. Because Agar's coming here, I'm wondering if he's going to land or not. He's got full vision of me. I'm just going to make sure that he doesn't do anything silly. Picking up, that looks like another 12 archers. And Castor is just going to survive as long as he can. 1A became so good at scouting. Oh, the AI? Yeah, it did. It's gotten much better at scouting, and it doesn't hurt. Whenever there's an observation tower, that takes a lot of the burden off of the AI, where it just kind of goes in circles trying to do more exploring. It really does help the AI out a lot to get a couple of those observation towers. Even 1 or 2 in your map, if you are a map maker, goes a long, long way for the AI to make the game much faster paced. 0 observation towers often mean that it's going to be a very slow developing game. You're probably going to have lots of time before the AI reaches you. One of the changes that I've proposed, or maybe I would just like to see have happen, proposed is maybe too strong of a word, but one thing I think would be very beneficial for the AI, as Agar is sailing towards me, is I think it'd be very beneficial. Aw. Little mermaid there. If the AI prioritized traveling by road. I think that would be a very good change. If in the heuristical design of the way that the AI works, if the AI just decided, hey, look, I'm going to do my very, very best to travel by roads as often as possible, because then you're going to be more effective with your scouting anyway, which is wonderful. You're going to do a better job in probably meeting up with enemies because castles are often connected. And then that gives map designers a more assured way for the AI to develop in a way that you can control, and that makes it better for map designers, in my opinion. I think that the roads in general, the AI does try and travel down, but not as great as I would have liked. I don't know about Lord Kilburn. I'm just going to play it super safe. I'm like 90% sure I can beat him. But at this point, wouldn't that be really, really sad if he had something really nice and just obliterated me? I think so. So we're going to wait till tomorrow to head out with these heroes here. If he attacks me in the castle, then I'll know that he has an ace in the hole. He has a trick up his sleeve. Oh, there's Agar. We're going to run the long way away from him. And it looks like Lord Kilburn, it looks like he's going to opt not to fight me here. I'm going to take the Hydras, I'm going to leave these troops, and I'm going to end up leaving probably the Griffins. The Griffins, I'm going to purchase everybody here, but I'm going to leave the Griffins. Whoa, what was that? Yeah, leave the Griffins behind, so that way they can defend against Agar if he does choose to land. And in fact, it's going to be the Master Swordsman as well that gets stuck behind. Are these the troops I want? I think I've devoted my time and attention to taking Hydras on the road. So let's plan on doing that. We're going to dismiss these dwarves just so I can get the centaurs in. Sprites have to go for the morale purposes. Left turret, right turret. This is a great castle. And these defenders should be enough to deal with Agar, especially with a captain. So Ambrose is going north. And funny enough, we picked up that +5 to our spell power when we defeated those bone dragons that were right here. There is no comparison between a pack of titans and a pack of bone dragons. We definitely got the easier fight there. There's no doubt about that, and I'm pretty happy for it. Lord Kilburn, it looks like he's very cautious, and so we're going to sally forth. He can't get behind us anyway, and we're going to have a resupply fairly quickly. This is just my little gold mine for 1,000 gold per day, and Zom is going to run as far and as fast as he can. Up and out of the way. Okay. Tell you what, if Green buys a boat from that Knight Castle, I'm going to be feeling very, very scared, because I will know that they are coming my way. Because where else are you going to go at this point? Seriously, where else are you going to go? There's no real defenders here in Weed Patch. I think the Ariel just wins. I think she wins hard. This is why I was trying to be cautious. My word. Come on, Fix Fox. Come on, Fix Fox. He was posturing like he was not difficult, and then he does this to me. He does this to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. How does he do this? 4 spell power, but he's only got 1 knowledge. I think that with the spells we're going to be fine, but this is just embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. Can you tell? The gargoyles are going to come over here in just a second anyway. Let's take 1 lightning bolt on these centaurs, so that way we just have to worry about their damage a little bit less. And this is really the value of a knight, by the way. Look at this. 4 attack, 3 defense, 0 attack, 0 defense. That means that his minotaurs are going to be doing 13 attack versus my 8 defense. They're going to be doing 50% bonus damage. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, I think that we just lose this fight. Is it worth it to run? We're gonna run. We are going to run, but for now, we're just gonna stay alive. As long as this fight can go, we're gonna stay alive. This is great. Losing 6 Griffins. They're gonna take the retaliation here, and then the Minotaur Kings can stay around for a little bit longer. 35 Gargoyles. down to 28. Stupendous. At least you can spam spell damage before running. You're totally right. That's totally what we're going to do. And I am going to work on these. Let's see. I can kill more gargoyles, and I'm going to continue to take damage from the gargoyles. Let's just keep killing gargoyles while we can. I love the smell of Fix Fox losing in the morning. It's wonderful. I don't mind losing, by the way. I've mentioned that before. I think that every single loss I've ever had is on camera. Not true. Okay, let me tell you about this one time. There was one time that I sat down to do a video, and I had a little bit of a rough day, and I was like, you know, I gotta make sure I put these videos out in a good time. People are expecting this. I don't want to let people down. It's part of doing things right, is making sure that you say you're gonna have a video on a certain day, and then you have the video out on a certain day. Okay. Well, I sat down to do a video, and I was just not feeling it. I was just not feeling it, and this wasn't on stream, so I didn't have anyone necessarily to disappoint. 2 cold rays are better than 1 of these. And so I ended up just kind of rage quitting and quitting midway through and just not soldiering through. But that's only ever happened one time. And I gotta tell you, I'm kind of happy with that. I'm kind of happy that every loss I've had, except for one, is on camera. That just feels genuine to me. Because if there's a loss, let there be a loss. If there's a win, let there be a win. But let's not pretend like we are completely impervious to the enemy's attacks. Let's not pretend like we don't lose. Because that just doesn't feel good if we did that. Folks, this was actually a pretty major win for us. I'm a little worried. Let's see, 4 spell points left. His magic arrow's been doing a little bit of damage. Are you winning the fight? No. No, he's still got too much attack skill. And with the 6 Minotaurs, it's still too much. By defeating 30-something gargoyles, though, I feel like it was worth my time. I do want to keep this hero. And so I actually probably should run because I'm not going to do any more damage. I'm not going to do any more damage. But we turned crazy losses into actually some value. 36 gargoyles off the table. That's actually not too bad. The only issue is that now this castle is free for the taking. Yep. So we're gonna have to go and defeat Weed Patch again, which I'm thrilled for. And then that just makes it difficult because Agar is still trolling out in the ocean, and he might come our way. I just don't know. We're gonna have to wait and find out. Heroes cost 2,500 gold apiece, so we're going to make sure that we don't. We're gonna make sure that we don't lose another hero if we don't have to. We can split up the sprites anyway. We can do that. And we know he's got no spells. But we don't have enough ore to have built a left turret, right turret. Maybe we already have that. He jumps in the boat. You're kidding me. Did not see that coming. Okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to land. And then Ambrose is actually going to go north. We're going to rehire Ariel now. And she's just going to go north. She's going to leave all these troops minus the dwarves. 2 sprites. Let's make it 3 just in case she's attacked by somebody. And she'll pick up spells at the magic well. Yeah, very interesting choice, but I guess he knows that I'm coming for him. I'm wondering if he's going to land in just a second. If he does, I think I now have enough troops here. Yeah, left turret, right turret, moat. I think I've got enough troops there that I can actually hold that castle. And then we've got plenty of spell points. So on we go. +1 Mercury, and we're heading straight for the sulfur. I've been saying that for a long time. We're not winning that fight, but we are winning the game, though, by the way. I wondered if maybe that's what you were talking about. Either way, not winning that fight, but totally winning the game. And it was, we'll call it a win. We'll call it a win. And the enemy does land again. I wondered if that would happen. He is in a position where I can't actually get into that castle, which feels kind of bad. Dom's just going to run away. Ariel's going to grab what she wanted to grab and then carry on. Because I think now with these troops, I actually do think that this is enough to defeat the enemy. Seems crazy, I know. How many Minotaurs? 8? and there's a hero, Wilfrey, that's got spells and he can actually use these additional guys, we're going to do that, actually. We are going to hire one hero. That's going to make this all go very much better. Very well. So I think he's got... Nope, no damaging spells. Is it worth it to get a mage guild? I guess not. Guess not. But I still think I can hold that castle. Okay. +1 spell power here. On we go. Wilfrey will stay, and let's just see what happens here. Let's just see. I don't know. We'll find out. It does go after Zom. I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't think Zom has any spells. Otherwise, I would have taken a couple of shots at him on my way out the door. And still pretty far away from dragons, but inching closer all the time. If we lose Ariel, I'll be sad. She didn't pick up her spells, did she? I'll be very, very sad if we lose her, but she can at least scout for us and see if there's any enemies up here to the north. Occasionally, I play fast enough that I realize only after the fact that I made a mistake. I feel like I'm doing that a little bit more than usual here. For example, not getting full spell points on your way north. That's a clear and obvious mistake. And what's worse is we'd even talked about it. We'd even mentioned that that was going to be the strategy. And somehow we still messed that up. Weird how that works. I hate this fight. My word. I don't have any way of really disabling these guys except for death. So we're just going to kill elves where we can. Hope for good morale here. Negative. Hope for good morale here. Negative. And then hope for good morale here. It doesn't matter at this point, actually. But that should be enough to win the fight. Crusaders are going to attack the right people. 7-1. That's still pretty useful. And we're going to get the sulfur mine that the warlock who was here never could. Never could. By the way, folks, I need to ask you something. Hoping for negative morale. Oh, hoping for good morale. Negative. Yeah. Oh, Obsessive. How you doing, sir? Hey, I love that. That what do you call it? That emote. That's one of my all-time favorites. That's perfect. I love that you dropped that in the chat at the exact right time. That's wonderful, sir. By the way, I did want to ask, what is everyone's favorite faction in Heroes of Might and Magic 2? I think that there's a couple that are going to be some standouts that people generally talk about loving more than others. I think I know the direction that this is going to go, but I'm excited to be proven wrong. So what is everybody's favorite factions? And if you'd like to tell me why, I'm always happy to hear that. But, you know, I'm always interested to hear what people's favorite factions are. Thanks, Happy, with how it came out. Yeah, Obsessive. Yeah. You know, sometimes getting the exact perfect joke to land via writing is a little bit difficult. That's why I really do my best to not do jokes over text message, because I always find a way to mess them up. Almost without fail. I almost always get it wrong. And people think, wait, are you mocking me? I'm like, no. I'm just having fun, man. Just having a real nice time. Did they already cast a spell? I think that they're going to cast a blind in just 1 second. They do not. And so we are going to get a shot off with the archers. No, we're not. I didn't realize our morale was that bad. Why is our morale so poor? Okay, 1, 2, troops of 3 alignments. Okay, sure. Fine. Whatever. I'll accept it. I think I can kill 1 elf. 1 to 2 elves. Give me 2. Give me 2. I got 2. That feels great. That feels great. El Hazard says Sorceress. Obsessive Repulsive. Sorceress. E-Parade. Sorceress as well. That was the first faction I managed to win on Broken Alliance, and that stuck with me. I love that we have a bunch of Sorceress players in the chat. You guys are awesome. That makes me... I'm thrilled to hear that. Sorceresses, I think, are thematically so cool, and I think that with all their special abilities, there's just so much to love about Sorceresses. When I hear you guys say that Sorceresses are your favorite, that's what I think of. Maybe you guys have other things in mind, but and I'm interested to find out if there is other things you're thinking about, but something about the units and the way that they work, so good. Very fragile, very easily knocked over by a very stiff breeze, but Very fun to play with, very, very enjoyable in my personal opinion. There's a trading post here. Do I need to trade anything before I die? Do I need to trade anything before I die? I've got so much gold. No trades at this time. No trades at this time, and so we will carry on. We will try and find whatever we can up this road. Again, scouting. Ooh, that's nice. Lightning rod, guarded by lots of trolls. I'll take that. Yeah, you're not going to be able to stop me from taking that. Don't need to make any purchases at this time. Let's just carry on. We're about to take one other castle to the north. Obsessive, I feel like Wizard and Warlock break the game with their 6th level creatures. I like the Sorceress for the strategy of magic, plus ranged attacks before everyone else. Yeah, the Greater Druid and Grand Elf Barrage is very, very fun. And, you know, whenever I hear people talking about the game, oftentimes I will hear people say that it's impossible to win with Sorceresses. I've heard that several times. Oh, it's impossible to win with Sorceresses. For some reason, they never win. I think that's because people are playing them wrong, personally. More on that in a little bit. I do have a soft spot for the Knight because that's why I played the game when I was younger, Obsessive, yeah. Well, and the Knights are just these stalwart defenders, and the Knights are the good guy. In a world full of magic and stuff like that, they're the most normal person that we, as the player, get to identify with. And so I'm a big fan of them. I'm going to go out of my way to purchase the Thieves Guild. I would like any information on this fight before we fight this. Winnable. Winnable. E-Parade says Greater Druids and Grand Elves are great units. Always happy when I can get those, definitely. And in fact, most of the times when people talk about late game armies and like who's the best there, I often hear people say things like, well, the Greater Druids are maybe making it to my final late game army. And I don't think that that's wrong necessarily. I think that there's a lot of value in getting only 6th tier creatures, but in a final army, you're always going to want Druids. Well, excuse me, you're always going to want Phoenixes, you're always going to want Dragons, you're always going to want Titans. So 3 out of your 5 slots are already spoken for. 2 attack, 0 defense, 4 spell power, 3 knowledge, great morale, Irish luck, 30 spell points. 7 attack, 5 defense, 9 spell power, 3 knowledge, blood morale. We're probably going to end up surrendering. Currently we could for 7,500 gold. Let's wait on that. Let's unload spells everywhere. Hydra's not worried about. Centaurs are probably the biggest threat at this current time. Even if I eat a blind here, I'm not so worried about these rangers. But elves and Greater Druids are such good units, and they are fun to play. They're fun to play. I have a confession. As much as I like to win, I like to have fun even more. And fun units go an awful long way towards me enjoying myself. We are going to be doing bonus damage against these creatures. I see no reason why we ought not to attack just yet. El Hazard says, Obsessive, yep, I like the Knight too. Wizard too, but troops are so expensive. They really are. Amazing how expensive they are when you stop and think about it. Which I do all the time. This will get rid of these centaurs here. Oh no, 1 centaur retaliates. Twice with the good luck. Wow, what a good way of wasting your good luck, sir. Did the gargoyles already lose their retaliation? I think not, so the rangers are just going to skip. What's your favorite faction, Fixfox? I'm really, really partial to the wizards. Wizards are absolutely my favorite, despite how expensive they are, El Hazard. So, I just really like the late game scaling. I like the fantasy of literal thunder gods coming from the sky. I'm just a big fan. I wanted to wait on these Hydras. I'm torn because I can kill 5 Minotaurs now, or I can kill the Hydras who are now 4 speed before they can do too much. I think that the Minotaur Kings are actually still the better unit at the moment. I think I can later on still kite the Hydras just a tiny bit. Let's take out all of the gargoyles. Go from there. I like Necromancer for the challenge runs. You know what? Necromancers actually get a little bit of a bad rep. I think that Necromancers, in a total deathmatch scenario where everybody starts off on equal footing, I think that Necromancers are actually the very best faction. Hot take. Hot take. But here's my thought process. You only need 5 of each resource to get your laboratory. So you need 10 sulfur for the mausoleum, and you need 5 sulfur for the laboratory, and plus 5 of every other resource. You can consistently get the big, bad, evil bone dragons week 1. And that's amazing to me. I know that there's more to life than just your 6 tier creatures. I know that, but you can consistently get so many of the bone dragons that I think that the necromancers are my personal sleeper pick for best faction in the game. Hot take it or leave it. We are down to only 11 spell points left. Let's drop one more lightning bolt on these hydras, and we are cursed. Oh boy, we are cursed. The Rangers, this is going to be the last fight that they're useful. These champions might stick around for a little bit longer though. So let's actually just clear out the Griffin. Let's let the gargoyles step in front of the hydras. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, Minotaur Kings are just going to stay. Gargoyles are going to step here. They're not going to attack. Another magic arrow. Good luck. Ooh! The good morale was actually pretty bad there. For me. Good for them. Bad for me. And now the worst case scenario has arrived, folks. They have hydras who are now going to hit all of my units at once. Thankfully, there's only 3 left. Only 4 left, but ouch, not my favorite thing. 21 spell points left. I don't think the Zam's gonna run. This has been very costly for me. Very costly indeed. Oh no, I left them an opening to attack all 4 units. No! That's one of the worst things I could have done. Come on, Fix Fox. Come on, Fix Fox. We do have one more magic arrow. Let's cast that now. Let's get ourselves out of this fight. I don't want to be here anymore. Let's just end it. Okay. A win is a win is a win. And that was actually a lot of hydras, and we totally turned that loss into a victory. The Rangers are gone. That's okay. That was probably the last of the Rangers we were going to use. And now from here on out, it's going to be Warlock troops all the way. Let's see if we got any nice artifacts. Darn. We tried. Archery is much less valuable now that we are going to be on centaurs. So we're going to take the diplomacy here over the archery. We're going to have Ambrose take one step out of his way so we can hire another hero, because I love the idea of being able to scout. It's going to be Airy. Airy's going to hopefully hire one fast creature. No, there's none to be had. Airy is going to steal one champion. I know, one full champion, of which I have very few, but that's his traveling buddy. And this champion is going to go with Airy wherever he goes through this very, very ugly swamp. Oh no, Sabu. Sabu's not too bad. Airy's probably going to go down. I want full spell points before I do anything else. Ambrose is going to stay here overnight. But now we have 3 swamps, which is not too bad. Not too bad. El Hazard 42, thanks Rangers, you were useful. Obsessive Repulsive, oh no. E-Parade, I know you're in Idaho. Have you spent much or any time in Coeur d'Alene? I visited there for work a while back and it was just gorgeous. Folks, I have a confession to make. I do live in Idaho. Hey, Fix Fox wife, love you. I love Idaho, and I'm from Idaho. I'm torn because I don't want people to find out how nice Idaho is. I'm very selfish, and I want to keep it all to myself. So, is it nice in Coeur d'Alene? Oh, it's horrible. Oh, Coeur d'Alene is the worst place in the world. It's polluted and filthy, and there's nothing to do there. It's so boring. It's bad. Yeah, you don't want to go to Coeur d'Alene. Yeah, no. Who wants to go, half an hour into the mountains to have some world-class skiing? Who wants to have the fish market not too far away from the Lewiston Coeur d'Alene Harbor? Who wants to have, tons of nice, clean air and beautiful scenery all around you? Yeah, you're best off to just stay far, far away. Yeah, absolutely no one. So you can come visit anytime. Just don't stay. I'm just kidding. You guys can stay anytime you want. Okay, it's month 2, week 4, day 2. We have finally lost this last little bit here. We're working off of 3 castles. I think that Wildebar is going to be our next point of interest. And I think that Wilfrey and Ariel should go north right now. I'm going to, let's see. Am I going to leave the Hydras? I can get so many Hydras up here. And with all this spell power, that means that fights are going to go long anyway. So we're going to leave these extra units. We're going to purchase everybody else we can, though. And we're going to go north. I know that Agar is still out there somewhere. But for now, these troops are just going to have to hold in case Agar wants to stick around. And we don't have that luxury here so much. Not so much, anyway. We're going to trade troops down like this. And just do one big resupply. Just focus on our priorities. We can't always worry about Agar. Eventually, we have to move forward. That is one of the big problems with living on the coast here, but so be it. So be it. Idaho is closed. Fix Fox wife says, "Ha." What a sweetheart. No, but really, Idaho is beautiful. Yeah, skiing, whitewater rafting. I mean, and when I say world class, I mean there are some real world class amenities. There's some real world class just opportunities. Idaho is lovely. It's absolutely lovely, but it is not for everybody. I think that our biggest city is Boise. It's the capital of Idaho, and it is big and nice, but it's definitely going to be a little bit of a culture shock for folks who are not used to a smaller type of city. It is smaller than you might otherwise expect. So Celia with a few bone dragons. I think I can defeat her. I'm going to head back for this resupply as quickly and as safely as I possibly can. Staying away from yellow. Hopefully getting this castle and then turning my attention back to the west. Wilfrey is going to stick around. Anything else for him to get? Yeah, he just needs to stick around and wait for issues as they arise as we head over this way. What else does Idaho have? So some major tourist attractions. Sun Valley is the place where celebrities go to retire and ski. Sun Valley is a pretty small population, but it's basically a ski resort. Pretty bougie. Think kind of like Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which anytime you say Wyoming, you don't think of bougie, but Jackson Hole is actually fairly bougie if you're familiar with that. But even more so. I think that some of the famous celebrities are things like Bruce Willis, a couple of the folks from Nashville, Tennessee. I think that Carrie Underwood and Keith Urban, I think that Nicole Kidman, I think that they have all got like summer homes there. And then my personal favorite, if you're looking for more low-key, good times, good vibes, would be things like Cascade or McCall. Those are nice places to be. If you want to live not in Boise, but like in one of the suburb kind of deals, I would recommend that you check out probably Star, Idaho. Star, Idaho is very, very nice, and it's not too far away from Boise. It's like a 15-20 minute drive, and you're going to do much better living there than you will Eagle, Idaho, for example, or Meridian, Idaho, which are like 5 to 10 minutes away from Boise, just because you're going to save yourself the traffic and the congestion. That's what I would recommend. I don't think I can escape all the way here. I think Lord Kilburn wants to go by me. We know he's tough. He beat Ariel before. We do have a lightning bolt still. I think we got better troops. I don't know what to do here. I don't want him to get by me. But I'm going to lose so many more troops if I fight him head on here. Standing stones and then back. That's going to make my lightning bolts even better. Let's do that. Craters of the Moon. That's an excellent one. Craters of the Moon is a national park. It's kind of where they trained astronauts for the NASA space program for the United States. It's got like similar types of soil than they would find on the moon. And so it was more a training of dust. Of course, it's not low gravity or anything like that, but just kind of interesting that there was a place that made enough sense for them to send astronauts to, just for training purposes. And then other places. Let's see, Bruno Sand Dunes is one of my all-time favorites. Bruno Sand Dunes, it's just this massive kind of deserty area, and people will grab a boogie board. They'll grab, tons of just, play toys and just go nuts. If you've got a dune buggy, then you're going to want to go to Bruno Sand Dunes. My wife wants me to tell people how much I love skiing. Folks, I'm not much of a skier. My wife is an excellent skier. My in-laws are really, really good skiing family. I've been once, and tell you what, I can really carve up the bunny hill really well. But other than that, I am very much not a skier, and I feel bad because I feel like I should be. I feel like I ought to be. The skiing is fun, but the problem is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The problem is that I didn't go when I was a kid, and so I didn't get that early exposure to it, and I just my folks weren't affluent enough to just send me on a random skiing trip, and so I never got into it young, and so now as an adult I feel awkward as a newborn baby deer going down the mountain, and so it's not my favorite thing. I've got to admit. E-Parade says I only went once. It was in McCall. I mean, hey, it's fun for the people that enjoy it. I'm just not that guy. And McCall is probably the best place to go skiing for that purpose. So you might have lucked out. Maybe that wasn't luck. Maybe that was on the travel itinerary from the beginning. I don't know if other people are into skiing or not, but I will tell you right now, with all humility, I am not much of a skier. Should have cast the lightning bolt first. I didn't. We're gonna get out of this fight, but this is ugly. This is ugly. Can I look at this? Look at this. 32 hit points left, and my cursed griffins are gonna do 31 points of damage. That's ugly. And the enemy runs. Okay. E-Parade, I'm not from Idaho and nowhere near it, LOL. So it was a vacation type of trip for you. It's really a good place to go. It's a nice place. Idaho is a very, very nice place. So you guys will have a good time, and the people are generally pretty friendly. In fact, the people that are not friendly are generally not from here. So take that for what it's worth. As you guys know from me, if I'm the only person that you know from Idaho, I would say that I'm a pretty good general example of what you can expect from an Idaho person. Maximus wants to fight Ariel. Why does he want to fight Ariel? That's weird. We're gonna close the door on this guy, going this way to here, and then as Ambrose goes by, Ariel's gonna hand off these troops, all of them. Rangers are gone, and then we're gonna keep the 8 champions for just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. We have no ranged support, no ranged damage. Is this the way I want to do this? Let's get rid of the 1 ranger because she's a 4-speed creature. And then the gargoyle as a 6-speed. That's gonna be Ariel's new travel companion. Guess we head on over here. Work trip to Boise, then later a trip to Coeur d'Alene for work. Locals told me to go to McCall to go skiing. And how did you like it? Because I've never been to McCall for skiing. I've just heard that it's very excellent. And if you've gone skiing in other places, then you might know. It sounds like actually that was like a one-time thing for you too, though perhaps. Agar has landed. We know that he's not in the water anymore. This castle, we fought hard for it, but we're not gonna be able to keep it. No chance that we're gonna keep it. I did like it. It was pretty funny though, because I'm from Boston and my instructor was from Boston. That is actually nice to have a friend away from home. I'm all for it. I'm very glad that you found each other out there. There's nothing wrong with that. This Mage Guild's only got a magic arrow. It's not worth 2,500 gold. We're just gonna give that back with my compliments. Darn. Yeah, one of my, yeah. I love, by the way, the Boston accent. I love the folks, believe it or not, there was a guy from New Jersey that I was a big fan of, and I liked his accent. And he always was like, what, you like putting me on? You shining me on? What, you want some mustard with that, boss? I like the New Jersey accent. I know that New Jersey and Boston are very different, but still, I'm just riffing here. Other accents that I enjoy, though. I gotta say, I kind of enjoy the Australian accent. It's just pleasant to my ears. I enjoy the Australian accent. I do enjoy the French accent. I do enjoy Italian. I really enjoy the Italian accent. There's a lot of cool manners of speaking. Very cool indeed. Month 2, week 4, day 6. We got one more day before we can pick up our green tower. We're going to end up trading for the sulfur necessary to make that happen. Wow, this guy is just all over me. My word. And then we do have one enemy in the water. I'd love to pick up this castle now. I think I'm going to have time to go here and go back. And I do not want Maximus to get any kind of ground into my dragon area. Enemy has fled. With our lightning bolts, we should do even better. We will see how many spells this gentleman has. 7 attack, 2 defense, 2 spell power, 2 knowledge. I'm up to 8 attack, 5 defense, 9 spell power, and 3 knowledge. Lightning bolts are better than a cure at this point in time. We have we have the 47 centaurs that we can keep around as ranged creatures. I think it's not a bad idea to just obliterate 36 centaurs in one go. And then we're going to try and keep centaurs alive a little bit. 47 down to 36. That means that we're doing a great job at keeping our centaurs alive. That's about what you can expect on any given day. Yeah. Slowed Minotaur Kings are still powerful. And really, these 11 Hydras, like the Hydra count is climbing quickly. I think that our champions are going to deal with those Griffins with no problems. Let's take out the Minotaur Kings. And then it's possible, I'm thinking that once these Griffins go down, I'm guessing that the Hydras are probably going to run because they're not going to have any supporting troops and they're only a 2-speed creature. I'm going to see if I can entice them to stay though. They do stay. I wonder if we can get them to actually go down here. One more lightning bolt for 225 points of damage, plus the damage here. Maximus goes down without running. 1,700 experience, and it costs us just about the same amount of troops. So no problem there. We will take the expert pathfinding, and we will be able to reach Wildabar and Sabu by the beginning of next turn. Continuing to head on south, we again know that there's a red hero out there somewhere. Let's have our heroes go to our resupply points. Topol 4 HU. I'm from Hungary, but since I mostly consumed American pop culture during my life, I feel like I know more about the US than Europe. Is there someone here from Eastern or Central Europe? I think most people here right now are from Europe. I know we generally have a lot of people from Norway, Sweden, Denmark in the chat. Oftentimes Turkey, Philippines on more than one occasion. I know that there's lots of people from lots of different places. Where everybody currently in the chat is from, I don't know, but I'd love to find out. Just kind of taking that little bit of a poll. Whoa, folks, that was close. Pix Fox, are you really gonna not get your dragons? Jeez, that was close. We do need 30 ore and 20 sulfur. We need 3 ore and we need 1 sulfur. Jeez, that was close. Let's not do that again. So 1 sulfur there, 1, 2, 3 ore there. And folks, it only took us till the very beginning of month 3, but we do finally have green dragons to our name, and that feels pretty okay. Hopefully we can keep those rolling. I would love to focus on getting 1 more of those dragon castles. Yellow is being very obnoxious, very obnoxious. Agar and Lord Kilburn. Lord Kilburn is back. Glorious victory. I'm going to accept these losses. 1 Hydra, that seems just fine to me. And we're going to stay here overnight because we only have 10 of our 30 spell points available to us. This town looks pretty good. We're going to leave here tomorrow with lots and lots of troops. No other things to do at this time, though. Let's just go on to the next day. But yeah, I'm very grateful that we've mentioned before that Heroes of Might and Magic has pretty much always been a bit of a bigger deal overseas than it has been here in the United States. And I saw a very interesting article that somebody kind of put together. It was less of an article and more of just their thoughts on the matter. But an individual mentioned why they thought that Heroes of Might and Magic got bigger in Europe than it did in the United States. And in large part, they said, well, it's because those were the computers we had. It got big because it was a game that we could actually play. We couldn't actually play some of these other bigger games. It's part of the reason why apparently Counter-Strike got big over in Europe, because the requirements for the PC is a little bit lower. And that makes sense. If you're playing Age of Empires or one of those real-time strategy games and you're working off of 10 to 20 FPS, that feels so bad. That feels so bad. And so it makes sense that, hey, if your computer can do turn-based strategy like this very, very well, that's where you're going to want to play. And it just so happened that Heroes of Might and Magic was such a great game. And so that's why it's still around to this day. It may have gotten its start because it had a low barrier to entry, but it's still around because it's just that good of a game. I think that Ariel is feeling like she wants to get out into the ocean. Just a little bit. I'm going to leave a couple of these gargoyles with her, so that way if she's accosted out in the water, she can do something with that. But we know that yellow's not in the boats anymore. I think that there was still one red enemy that we saw. Yeah, but let's get out into the boat with Ariel and just explore the rest of this terrain here. Hopefully, without anybody else coming our way. The dragon count is starting to climb. The dragon count is starting to climb. Pixfox, why aren't you sending the dragons north right now? We don't really have the sulfur for it. And I think that I can still get rid of these champions before too much else happens. Once we get rid of the champions, then we're going to do that. Let's defeat Kilburn. The enemy has fled yet again. Like a thorn in my side. Why does Lord Kilburn continue to put himself in danger and not preserve his own life? Does he have no sense of preservation for his own life? Does he not care about his own safety? Is he just going to cast a magic arrow and then run? Is that his goal? I would be very upset if my lord and liege said, hey, by the way, your job is to go there, see your troops die in front of you, and then cast one magic arrow for 10 damage. Good luck. I would be very upset. Heart of Ice. You pull a shipwreck survivor from a certain death in an unforgiving ocean. Grateful he rewards you for your act of kindness by giving you the Heart of Ice. That reduces the damage from cold spells by 50%, but it doubles the damage from fire spells. I think if I had to choose between the Heart of Fire or the Heart of Ice, I think that you would rather have the Heart of Ice, because I just tend to find less damage from fireballs and fire blasts. But cold rays and cold rings, those are everywhere. So Agar is in the swamp here, but he is so slow. Oh, we're still not going to reach him. Still not going to reach him, but he is a good hero. Hopefully we can eliminate him before anything else happens. Let's just take a quick look here. No troops to be had. Let's spread out these gargoyles. Hope for the best. Very interesting that there was a shipwreck survivor there. I would have thought that we would have already seen all of this terrain covered up. Is this a gold mine? Folks, it's a gold mine. For some reason, I thought it was a gold mine because it was just on an island out here. That feels wonderful to pick up. Oh, that's so nice. That's so very, very nice. If only you had a chain lightning E-Parade. Yeah, for that fight against Lord Kilburn, you're totally right. That's exactly what I wanted, was one single chain lightning, and then I would have had all my problems solved. We are probably to the point where investing in a mage guild makes a little bit of sense. We do have a tier 2 mage guild already. Maybe we can do a little bit more. Maybe we can do a little bit more. He's got hydras. I've got hydras. I've got no logistics. He does. We're going to sit here. We're going to catch up to him. I'm going to purchase one more hero. Might as well be Zom. And Zom's going to take the hydras off my hands for just one fight. Are 14 hydras enough to prevent the enemy from fighting me? I just really want to catch him if he wants to continue to run. No. I think we're just going to use Zom to slow him down, though. It's going to cost me 2,500 gold just to slow this guy down, but we're going to do it. That's not a good use of 2,500 gold. Yeah, not a good use of 2,500 gold, but he's either got to jump off the road, in which case I'm going to catch him, or he's going to attack Zom, in which case he's going to be just slow enough that I can catch him. Either way, my goals are met. This is silly. Don't do this at home, kids. They're picking up the sulfur here. I need to send another hero out there. We've got plenty of gold. Let's just send Sabu the Barbarian. Nice to have a Barbarian back. And he's going to take the gargoyles to go pick up that through the swamp. Let's see. Tobal 4HU. Yeah, That's true. I remember I found a ripped version, no cinematics of the game, first on CD somewhere, and it could run even on my 166 megahertz Pentium 1, so it was love at first sight. Totally. That is a true love story there, and I am all for it. It's, yeah. Again, it was always a good game, but being able to actually play the good game, that goes a long, long way towards feeling good about it. What in the world? How is he faster than me? He must have logistics. Agar has logistics. He can't reach here. I've got to defeat him. I hate to do this. He's just wasting so much of my time. Thankfully, we're going to have some other heroes out on the map doing some other fun things until we do catch him. There's the Magellans Maps here. This is a big pickup, folks. I'm thrilled for this. Let's get this now, because this eliminates all need I had for scouting in the first place. So nothing up there, nothing up there. There's nothing else in the water I see. Wizards! Blacksford! There's a wizard castle out here on what appears to be an ocean? No, it is coastal, but it wraps around into this area. And in fact, we've seen orange come through in this direction, and they have given green some real pressure. And so I'm guessing that orange and green are now fighting. There's one orange hero here, but we know this, folks. Let's do a little bit of a strategy break here. We started off as a knight faction. Who cares, right? Warlocks and wizards, there's one of each. And if I'm reading the tea leaves correctly, much like we had knight castles all available here, I do believe that as there's sorceress castles here, the wizards are likely getting stronger and stronger by the day over here. As much as I would love to, go north and deal with the red necromancers. Yeah, red necromancers. Purple barbarians, we haven't seen them at all yet. I wonder if it's in our best interests maybe to just secure this section down to here and just hold on to this area. Just hold on to it. That's all you gotta do. And then, rather than defeat green, rather than try and defeat red, we go back in the boat and go and deal with our biggest adversary. Sure, it takes a long, long time for wizards to get online, but folks, it's month 3, week 1, day 7. They probably have Titans by now. They probably do. So, the Magellans Maps has been staggering for us. I'm thrilled for it. We will see if Ariel finds something over here that she wants to land, or another gold mine. Absolutely worth it. 2,000 gold from the ocean every single day. Big pickup. Big pickup. There is this trading post here. Do we have enough resources? 27 wood, 19 mercury, 14 ores, 0 sulfur, 9 crystal, 10 gems. There's no way that we can get up to the sulfur necessary to purchase more dragons. So we shall wait. We shall wait. But Tobal, I'm very, very thrilled that so many people love Heroes of Might and Magic like you're talking about. It didn't have to be this way. You know, it could have been. It could have been that it was a flash in the pan and then it didn't turn into anything, but it became a thing. And still around to this day. Yep, turned into a cult classic. Folks, this is bad. This is really bad. Crag. Whoa, what was that? I don't know how to say your name. BK Tech, please. Thank you for the follow. Happy to have you here with us. Folks, I don't know what to do with this. This is insane. The orange player. Hey, Homer from the Philippines. How you doing, sir? Very nice to have you. Homer, appreciate having you in here. Yep, glad to catch you live. The enemy has done the very best thing that they can do, is that they have amassed a large army of Titans, and they are being led by a barbarian hero. I would much rather see this many Titans, this many Archmagi, this many Halflings, all these troops. I would much rather see this on a wizard with 0 attack, 0 defense, 20 spell power, and 10 knowledge. Really, I would. But this is unfortunately not looking good for me. I'm going to need to find a way to defeat a barbarian hero with 23 Titans. This is going to be a challenge. We're going to do the best we can, but my word, we might as well run. There's nothing else we can do here. But Craghack with his 9 attack and his 23 Titans, that is very scary. Was this hero? Hold on. I didn't even see that hero. They popped out of nowhere, pretty much, it felt like. And did we just give them a boat? I think that we gave them a boat. I think that he was marooned here, and then we just gave our biggest enemy a boat without even realizing it. Without even realizing it, we might have made the biggest error we possibly could. What a crazy turn of events. You can do it, Fixbox. I believe in you. Yeah, sometimes the best strategy is to retreat. Totally. I'm with you 100%, and that was absolutely it. We took our parting shot with a lightning bolt, but now on we go. Let's see what is to the north. I'm amazed. There's still one more sulfur mine here. We need to get that. We're going to go back, pick up that sulfur mine, because we can defeat dwarves. That's not going to be a problem. And we're going to need as much sulfur as we can possibly get in the coming moments. Agar did turn around. We're going to defeat him handily. I think that he should know that he is no longer welcome in this area. He never was, but now he should really be told. And there's only one effective way to tell somebody that they're not wanted in Heroes of Might and Magic 2, and that's that you just kick them out of your territory. That's what we're going to do. The rest of these troops don't matter. The Hydras are a pretty fair concern here. No one else really is worrisome. How much damage did their lightning bolt do? They killed 30-some centaurs. They're probably going to do that at least one more time. The Hydras actually put themselves in a position where I can attack them with my champions. I'm going to do that. We're getting to the point where the champions are just not going to be that useful, so let's keep them around. The Liches need to go. Let's kill 2 to 3 of these Hydras. Enemy does not run. Can I kill these last 2 Hydras? Possible. It's possible. We don't get it, and the enemy does run. Okay, that was an opportunity, but that was a worthy effort. I am going to step on this graveyard just in case we can possibly take that. If they've never gotten that graveyard, we will take it now. And we're going to keep a good close eye on Craghack here. If we get an aggression from the ocean, we are going to be feeling so sad. Ariel the Sorceress, let's hire her back. She's been a good hero for us. And let's purchase all these troops. At this point, the Viking Raiders are going to be way more than we can deal with anyway. So it doesn't matter to me if I leave defenders here or not. Let's just grab everybody we can. And I think that we're going to probably just bring these dragons up now. I need whatever pressure I can get. And there are a fair few amount of dragons here. We have no sulfur. We will trade for it. It's going to be Wilfrid that brings them up. Let's get all these other troops first. Well, I guess that tells you how much gold I have, is that I'm already out. So for now, the dragons are going to stay. Oh, if these Titans make a beeline for me, I will be in the very worst kind of way. In the very worst kind of way. We are getting, it looks to be about 6,000 gold per day. That's a couple of dragons a day. That's 2 dragons a day, I believe. So in just 3 days or so, we'll be able to do more. It really depends on what Orange does right here now. And Orange goes in the other direction. Thank goodness. If Orange goes in the other direction, I'm feeling so fine. We will let them go and deal with Sorceresses and all these other troops, and we will get stronger the longer that they will allow us to do so. Again, this graveyard, if we get negative morale, we get negative morale, but it's worth a chance anyway. You tentatively approach the burial ground of ancient warriors. Do you want to search the graves? Yes, I do. And actually, we're going to win this fight, and it's not going to be too bad. I think that with 1 haste on the Hydras, they can just obliterate mutant zombies everywhere. Everywhere. So that's what our plan is going to be. Let's head on up here. Haha, free boat, bye-bye 10 wood. Yeah, 10 wood gone, just gone. They run because they fear you. I hope that they fear me, and honestly, I think that they ought to fear me. And I think that all of these mutant zombies really need to fear these Hydras. We've got so much spell power that I'm going to cast the Stone Skin now, and I'm going to hope that I can just let them all crowd around me and die very quickly. 2 dragons a day keeps the doctor away. hopefully it'll keep some Titans away. But the problem is that I've really kind of hoped that my might-based hero would be good enough to defeat whatever I came across. That was my plan. But I don't think that's going to be very useful. Like, I don't think that that's going to work out the way I'd hope. If a barbarian hero is leading all of those Titans, we lose our advantage. We're going to be even in attack skill, and meaning that we're going to be even worse when it comes down to our actual fighting force, because we are so far behind. 7 dragons right now compared to 22 Titans. Yeah, there's no comparison there. There's no comparison there. +2, that's actually a great artifact with that spike shield. +2 attack, +2 defense, that does go a long, long way. So 11 and 7, we're feeling better. And we do have spells, whereas the enemy does not. Problem is that Titans just kind of shrug off a lot of these big bad spells. Halon is coming back. I'm going to take the time to go out of my way here to take some of these troops. Zom, let's see, can he get there and back? Zom is going to borrow the troops. We're just going to do a swap over like this. And the artifacts, because why not? And then Zom is going to... Nice. Good job, Fix Fox. That's using your head. Well, at least we get a really good look at these war trolls as they completely obliterate my army, who I... I can't. Disaster, folks, disaster. Unmitigated disaster. Ah, that's incredible. If you didn't see that, what we did is we traded all of the units and the artifacts over to Zom, and then at the very last moment we traded all the units back over to Ambrose, and so then Zom just died with all of my artifacts. That is a wonderful thing, and I'm sorry, folks. I don't usually use the autosave, but we're going to use the autosave. No, I just can't. I just can't let that stand. That's a swing in a way that that's a swing and a miss. So this will go down as a loss overall, though. I think that we've talked in the past about how that's kind of how I play these maps, is I don't go for any of these reloads generally. I'm going to accept these losses. I don't want to fight that fight again. So even though I'm going to consider this map a loss, we're still going to play on. Because, hey, if you're playing against an enemy, like a real person, and you do that, hey man, you just lose. Like, it's frustrating, but that's just a loss. And we are getting to the point, I do believe, where I think that we're going to hopefully soon find... I think on the roadmap by the end of this year, FHeroes2 is going to have online competitive play able to be hosted. More than that, I cannot say. I do not know. But it is quite possible that that is going to be on pace by the end of the year. So if that happens, I'm going to be thrilled for it. And so I would love to just play people, not necessarily very highly competitively, but certainly in a way where, you know, I have fun with it. And I hope that I play very, very well, and I hope other people play very, very well, and I hope I lose some and I hope I win some, but I am looking forward to eventually getting to play against people. I think that'll be nice. We're going to probably haste the Hydras, try to get them into the fight quicker. Champions are going to die. It is what it is. And that's actually fine. They've done their job. The losses here are terrible. And I didn't think that the trolls would be this tough, actually. Trolls are a good unit, and they're better than I always give them credit for. And boy, are we seeing that now. They are ready to destroy me. I think I'm going to move the Griffins out of the way up here. I think that these champions are about to go down. So let's attack here. Take another retaliation because why not? And then these two trolls are going to go down in one moment. Let's actually skip on the champions. Let's take the war trolls at the bottom. And ultimately this fight will go better than it could have because of that haste and the morale, but still a little bit of a rougher landing than I thought it would be. Don't be too hard on yourself about the reloads, brother. This is a game. It's all here for fun. And if you're giving us all here great entertainment watching you, brother, yeah, I appreciate that too. I think I mentioned in a previous scenario that the play that we have done, I did all the campaigns for Heroes of Might and Magic 2 and the Price of Loyalty. I did all of those without any reloads or saves. If I lost, I just started the scenario over from scratch. And so I'd like to think that that has given me some goodwill with folks so that they know that really I'm trying to do this right and make sure that the advantages that I have are to a minimum. But it is what it is. Horde of Nomads. I forget that it's month 3, week 2, day 2. We've gotten access into this area. I don't think that we're going to fight those guys with Zom, if for no other reason than they are worthwhile experience. I just don't think it's worth it. We're going to dismiss the zombies and the skeletons. This army is much smaller than I thought it would be. Zom is going to take what he can here. The sulfur is going to be very, very nice. And Ambrose is actually going to turn back to the south while Sabu escapes. We're going to lose this sulfur mine here fairly quickly, but yeah. Really trying to get those dragons as quickly as I can. There is this resupply. It's coming. Marco is giving over all these guys. Swordbreaker, a pack of titans is still too much. I'm not looking forward to fighting that fight anytime soon. Sabu, I think, is actually, you know, I talked about turning south with Ambrose. I think we're actually going to go through the swamp because these are two heroes with pathfinding. And then we can defeat Halon, we can defeat Agar finally, hopefully. We'll go from there. Yeah, I'd love to play a game versus you. That would be so much fun. I agree. Perfect fight for a teleport spell for the snakes. Oh, teleport is so good. I think that teleport for the warlocks is actually the very best. I think the warlocks are the very best users of the teleport spell. Like if I have to think about it, I think that warlocks are the best users of that spell. And so hopefully we get to see more of that in the future. We only have 18 spell points here. And with Halon right here, I think I'm actually better off to go up north like this. Maybe do a resupply this way. Yeah, and this is not what I had in mind, but we're going to do it this way. And I'm going to keep that Heart of Ice far, far away from me. I just don't want to deal with it. The possibility of losing damage, it just doesn't feel worthwhile to me. Zom is going to go exploring to the north. There's still more to be found up there. Ambrose is going to be on a collision course for our friend Halon. Sabu is still a worthwhile hero. Let's keep him fairly safe in this direction. And I think that you're going to see Halon run back towards the safety of his home. I don't think he's going to get there, but we're going to see how far he can get there. What happened to the map that you were rebuilding in one of your videos I saw? Where can we download that, brother? I want to play it. That was the Broken Alliance map, and I just got very, very distracted. So I'm still going to be working on the Broken Alliance map. It's like 80% of the way done. I can probably finish it in about 2 hours. There was a question, maybe less of a question, maybe more of a concern. What are you doing? You think you can beat me? You can't beat me. You can't beat me. Get out of my face. There was a concern I had. Some of the objects, specifically with mines and mountain ranges, do not place in the new map editor like they did in the original map editor. And so creating a map on an exact one-to-one at this point is more than just difficult. It is unfortunately impossible. And the problem I have with that is that, well, it'll work. It'll be close, but do I make sure that's a complete one-to-one exact replica, or do I take a look at waiting until they've resolved those issues? Or maybe they're never going to resolve the issues. I don't know. If you don't know, The FHeroes2 map editor is built from scratch, from the ground up, so it has nothing to do with the original Heroes of Might and Magic 2 map editor. And I think that that's good, because there's a lot of logic that just was bad for the original map editor. What it did allow for you to do was, in some cases, do things like place pyramids on the water. And there's some tactical advantage and cool stuff you can do with that. It'd be nice to have that option potentially, but it also doesn't make sense within the logic of the map editor. And so some of these differences, some of these changes, they may not be ideal, and they may never be fixed because maybe they shouldn't be fixed. I don't know. You'd have to ask some of the FHeroes2 members. But I would leave that to you and them to kind of hash that out a little bit about what you can expect as far as what is broken, what's not broken, what is deliberately broken, and what should stay fixed because it's been fixed. I guess just upload what you have, and when you finish it, name it version 1, and when they fix issues, you can upload version 2 of it. That does make sense. That does make a lot of sense. The water on the far right side of the map for Broken Alliance, it's supposed to be like 14 or 16 pixels wide worth of water in those choke points. And because of all of the liberties I've had to take in making things fit on the map at all, it's gone from like 16 down to like 4. That's how big of a difference it is not being able to place mines amongst mountain ranges like you once were able to do so. It's over the course of a full medium-sized map, it's added up. And so it'll look like version 1, version 2, but it'll feel like two entirely different maps. So we'll see what happens there. We'll make it happen. Otherwise, that map is Broken Alliance, and you can still play it in Heroes of Might and Magic 2, the FHeroes2 version. Mostly the reason for me remaking that map was so that way, if you wanted to make some changes, like some balance changes or things like that, you could. You could take the template I've already given you and you can adjust it in whatever way makes the most sense to you. That was my plan, but it's not required. Enemy surrendered. I'm going to let him. It's Agar. No! We've got to find Agar, folks. Let's keep looking in taverns, and let's do our very, very best to find Agar. We might have the advantage because I'm guessing that every other faction has lots of heroes already, and they may not have the desire to purchase a new hero. We may have the advantage in finding Agar, but I'm guessing that Agar had artifacts, and lots of them. So, if I'd known that that was the end of yellow, I might have done things differently. I say might have, I certainly would have. Red is pressing into this direction. There's Alamar again. Jezebel is pretty tough. Stay 6. We've picked up our sulfur mine. I still want this sulfur mine. This is, man, this is a fight. I think that there's a mine right here. No, it's a gazebo. I just saw the very corner of it and I thought it was a mine. Rather than go in front of these heroes and die immediately, I'm going to go far away. Maybe lead them away just a tiny bit. And then Sabu, he can go pick up this wood and that sulfur up there. We are getting 2 mercury per day, 2 ore per day, 2 wood, 1 sulfur, 1 crystal. Still need gems. Here's the gems. 18 sulfur we would have to trade for if we were going to pick up another dragon tower. Every day that we don't have a dragon tower, though, we fall further and further behind. We currently have 1 marketplace, 2, 3, 4 marketplaces, so we're trading at a really good clip. 8 sulfur per. We can get up to 6 there. We can get up to, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, plus a little bit of gold. Except you need the ore. We're gonna wait 1 more day, but folks, I think we're gonna end up trading. Yeah, we're gonna pick up resources here. We're gonna pick up that sulfur. Sabu's gonna pick up that sulfur, and we're gonna trade for another dragon tower. It's so scary. It's not ideal, but if orange isn't breathing down my neck and I don't need to mount a successful defense right now, then we're going to wait. And we're going to invest in multiple dragons from multiple castles and then go from there. Yeah. There's orange. Orange has landed there, running through, just screaming through green's territory, several in lots. Oh my goodness, what do you do? Red has more or less gone to the north. I think that with my hydras, I'm still very, very tough to deal with for them. I need another observation tower, really. I don't know what's over here. I'm gonna take 1300 experience there. Summon Boat is actually a pretty nice spell. I'm wondering if there's something here. It looks like not. And I am going to purchase one more hero as a scout because I need more information. It'll be Calindra's a level 10 wizard? What? Okay. I don't want her to be a scout. I'm going to hire her closer to over here because she can potentially take these troops and maybe fight the enemy. The other enemies there. Good spells, good spells. I wonder who she was originally with. She's got the View Hero spell. Let's cast that right now and just take a quick peek. Not a lot of activity in the upper right. Not a lot of activity in the upper left. Left, right. Purple barbarians are still hanging tough. Orange, it looks like 2 really tough orange heroes here and then a couple of supporting heroes. We might be able to backdoor. Folks, I think that we might need to start looking at backdooring right now. I know that I've talked about, do I secure this area or what do I do? I think that we've got to go get the Titans. We know they have at least 2, 3 cloud castles. We have to go south. And it's got to be south with Ambrose. This is the time. We've got to go south. So the nice thing is that we'll be able to pull all these troops here and then just meet on the coastline after we do a summon boat here. That's what we're going to do. Very, very quickly, we're going to do that. This is just additional scouting. No major problems here. Hey, if we can take their boat, we will. If we take that obelisk, we will. We haven't seen any snow just yet. So the likelihood of us picking up the ultimate artifact is still fairly low. I wonder if the barbarians started off in the snow. That would just make sense to me. That's probably the reason why they're doing so well. And then Calindra. Is just going to sit and wait. So 3 heroes are waiting in castles, and we're heading into this area as quickly as we can. I'm hoping that orange is going to stay occupied with green. I'm hoping that green actually has a little bit of strength and that they can repel some of these forces. Yeah, these knight faction castles are even starting to crank out some good troops. What a very, very interesting scenario. I almost did it again. Did you see that? I almost did it again. I almost clicked way too fast. We've already got a plan here. We picked up plenty of sulfur with Sabu to make this make sense. Before we do anything, let's pick up 2 units of ore. Let's then trade all the wood and then all the mercury, and that'll actually do it. So let's trade not all of the mercury, but just a little bit. 1, 2. We just don't want to bankrupt ourselves on our precious resources. And actually, especially since we're looking at maybe dealing with Titans soon, let's not trade any of the gems. We're likely never going to use the Phoenixes, and so Mercury and Crystal, let's get rid of those. And then we pick up our second green tower. And I would rather have 2 green towers than 1 black tower. I think that makes the most sense for us right now. Still got to take out a horde of dwarves. Somebody's got to do it. It's not going to be you, not today. Okay. Month 3, week 2, day 7, on to month 3, week 3, day 1. Long scenario. Long scenario. Oh no, Orange is hopping back in the boats. I really wanted them to stay occupied for as long as possible. I really did. I don't mind if I lose these 2 Warlock castles. I won't love it, but it'll be fine. I think I'm best off. I think I'm best off just going in this direction. Oh, my bad, Homer. FHeroes members are legends in my book to bring back this game from my childhood. I appreciate them working on the game so much. Yeah, no, the FHeroes2 team members are absolutely legendary. I could not have put that any better. I mean, I just think about the sheer amount of work that it takes to make the game what it is. They have spent so much of their free time, so much of their time that they could have spent doing other things. Mass haste, good spell. I'm very, very appreciative that they are not taking the easy route. And the game feels like it's a very high quality. And for a game that had to be built from the ground up to make that happen, that's not a small thing. It's really not. Let's purchase all these troops so we can go get that other sulfur mine. Even if it's just for a short term, 2 sulfur mines is much better than 1. So let's go here. And tally-ho. Throng of nomads. Let's defeat the dwarves first, and then we'll think about a throng of nomads. We're good, but we're not that good. So we're going to wait for now. Okay, end turn. I really need to know what orange is going to do. Zom does go down. Alamar is that hero. He's fairly tough. He's not that good. No, he's the guy that had 11 spell power at that one point. So he is back with a vengeance. We're going to lightning bolt and run. So long. And your boat is gone. It's good. Good. What'd they do? Did they land again? Or did I miss it and they sailed south? I think that they landed and sailed south. Palindra one more time. View heroes. One hero here. I think that that's the main hero that landed. I think so. I'm guessing that Orange has picked up the Magellans Maps. They have to have. And so they're going to see us coming when we set sail. We're still several days away from launching that offensive. My hope is that they resupply and then go this way as quickly as possible. That's my hope. We'll see what happens. I think that Jezebel can at least contend with me. And so let's just get in and get out. I wonder if the elves are guarding anything. We'll find out about that soon. Spells. Steel skin on the Hydras. That's going to be the very best. Let's do that. Let's do that. Glorious victory. Major losses. Major losses. I would rather lose Hydras than all these other creatures, though. So let's let them go down the battlefield. In fact, I wonder if I ought to haste them now. I think I shall. I'll haste the Hydras, so that way they get to go there. And then, let's see. Hydras are still going to go mostly last, but we are going to get to cast the steel skin on them, and the dwarves can't reach any of my other troops, really. So that'll be fine. Not ideal, but fine. Let's skip here. Steel skinned Hydras taking a beating. One goes down. Oh, good luck. Good luck. Oh, that was beautiful. That was a thing of beauty. Hydras are such a fun unit. When they hit, oh, they hit so hard and it feels so good. When they whiff or when they get kited around, that feels always pretty bad, but I don't think that we're having to deal with that right now at all. Minotaur Kings are taking a little bit more attention than I wanted them to. That'll be all right. The Centaurs are free and clear. And I hope that these dwarves... Nope, they're going to attack the Minotaur Kings. Ouch. So, with that being said, let us Steel Skin, kill this group of 9, and go from there. Palindra, for all of her spell damage and spell knowledge and power, she's only got 1 attack, 2 defense, so she's not that good of a hero. A little bit sad for that, but wow, these dwarves are just being annoying. Folks, so it's 4:18 my time, and school is back in session in my part of the world, and so all the school children have recently gotten out of school. And I think that a busload of kids just got here. And so I got kids like tapping on the glass and doing some fun stuff over here. And that's just fine. I'm a big fan of kids. And I'm just fine with them enjoying themselves and having a nice time. But we did start the stream a little bit later, but we are about 3 hours into this video. I am starting to... I can just kind of feel it in my bones. I'm starting to get a little bit tired. And so knowing that there's still so much of this scenario to play, and that the next hour is going to probably be the win or the loss here, I think I'm unfortunately going to have to stop the stream today just so I can recoup and make sure I have my full energy devoted to winning this scenario in short order. What have we done? Let me take you on the quick recap here. We started off in this one knight castle of Lombard. We had Ambrose the Knight as our main hero there, and we cleared in this general direction. We felt so much pressure from the Sorceresses to the west, and we ultimately were able to get enough resources and enough troops that we were able to then set sail and land and take Yellow's main warlock castle. And we ultimately did the thing that knights are best at, and that is get a decent stack of army and then, like a hermit crab, move into somebody else's territory. And we have done that very successfully. I'm very happy with the way that that went. We now are currently the owner of 4 fine warlock castles. We are on this little bit of a peninsula. It's nice to have this edge of the map to our back here, but we still do have plenty of pressure to the north with red. And then we also have a very terrifying issue to deal with. We have seen at least 20 to 30 titans that orange has already been able to get. And right now we've got 10 dragons waiting here and 4 dragons waiting here. That's not going to be enough. We're going to very, very quickly go by boat. We're going to sail. We're going to land and hopefully overwhelm orange while their main army is away, steal their titans, and be the biggest, baddest heroes in the world. But that is going to have to be for another day. So folks, thank you so very, very much for your time. Thank you for your energy. I love Heroes of Might and Magic 2. I'm so very, very grateful that there's been so many wonderful people that have taken the time to be here, and I'm appreciative of your time. Fix Fox Wife, I missed a couple things. Let me just read this real quick. You know what, Real Fix Fox? I really miss to see your cat that would sometimes jump on the back of your chair or something in another video. Yep, Ellie, we did lose Ellie a little while ago. She was a very excellent cat, one of my all-time favorite cats I've ever had. But thankfully she was able to pass very, very quickly. So I feel pretty good about that. And so at some point, I'm gonna have my kid come around in December. New baby is gonna be in December. Sometime after that, we will look at maybe getting another cute, small little cat, something that can just perch right on my shoulder or on the back of my chair. That will be wonderful. So sad to hear that they're gone to the next world. I had cats before. Cats are awesome. Cats are so awesome. Some of my all-time favorite things. I'm a big fan of them. We are at the library. She was the best cat ever, says Fix Fox Wife. We need to get you a new laptop and also Starlink net system. Yeah, you know what? If you guys wanna help me get satellite internet, that's fine. We'll be just fine with that. So no worries there. And then my dear sweet wife says that she's holding me to that after the baby, that eventually we will get a new cat. So folks, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for your energy. We will post this video and the part 2 hopefully by Saturday of this week. Both videos will be available. I'm probably going to post this video on YouTube tomorrow and then part 2 hopefully by Saturday. Folks, until I see you again, look after you, look after your friends, look after your family, and take very, very good care of those that you love and care about. I know that they care about you, and I'm appreciative for all the wonderful people that have taken the time to be here. So looking forward to seeing you in the next one, and I will see you around. Thanks for the stream, everybody. Thanks for the time. Thank you, Homer. Thank you, Tobel. Thank you, everybody.